Let me know how the volume balance is. It's like the perfect time to be tuned in. Look at this. Like literally. Oh, I gotta remember to put this in the Discord. And I'm not gonna be doing Nessie Day because we're doing this today. At least I have everything on one PC for today because I'm not playing anything. I'm watching. It's my man Rain Day. Let's go.
Checking back in with us at the ALGS. I'm your host Rain Day, and I'm so glad to welcome you.
I'm share the stream on Discord.
To start and close out a tremendous back half beginning of our split 2, where we get to see the teams that have competed.
This is a big day. Sunday? That's why we do just Sundays. Sunday's a big day. We got year 5, split 2, match day 7
for Japan in January. It is all coming up here, and these moments this weekend might shape these
it's like the first watch party we've done in a hot minute.
Destinies forever in Apex Legends. Let's get started.
Hey Robo, what's going on, man?
To bring in 2 amazing casters. We had Vicky and Jamerson yesterday, but it's Onset and Gaskin back with us to close.
Let me know how the balance is if you want it quieter
Mark,
or
Dan,
louder.
It's great to have you guys. And Mark, I know the Arsenal score isn't what you want right now, but good thing we have some great Apex Legends on the way.
I was really hoping you wouldn't bring that up, but thank you for bringing
Hey Joseph,
it up.
what's up, man?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's some tough moments in life. That certainly is one of them, but some good moments are that we've got the ALGS to talk about today. So very excited, a lot of team changes, a lot of commotion, and of course, I think everyone's looking forward to EMEA and the Americas later.
Yeah, 2 great regions, Dan, and they play a little differently, but most importantly, it's about who's going to find their rhythm right now, because there is much to gain, and there's also so much to lose with bad performances and good performances over these next 3 match days.
Yeah, we saw a couple of teams struggle yesterday, and you do have the benefit if you are playing the double match week that you get to kind of improve on that. Maybe you build a bit of momentum, or it could be the opposite, and maybe you'll just struggle both times, and then you might find yourself falling out of luck, and you might not even be able to get to champs.
Well, we were just talking about
seems
the
good, perfect.
in Las Vegas, and something that happens in Vegas quite often is you've got cards somewhere, and when you're shuffling a deck, the point is to bring it back into parity. Today, we're shuffling the pack as far as our theme for Apex Legends, and these pros coming in after their first chance of seeing these patches not only get brought out in notes, but then seen put on display yesterday in match day 6 with EMEA and North America having a run. Some will get that second round. Some
I'm kind of curious what people are going to gravitate towards.
Like Falcons, which we'll
I haven't.
later,
This is my first ALGS I've watched in a hot minute.
Now as well, a big top dog, second place in EMEA. So for me, Mark,
this will be about like 3-hour stream, give or take.
Into what shuffling the pack means as our focus for this afternoon in both.
Also, occasionally we will pause and we can
we
like
have
draw.
Some team
See, I could do
once
like.
again, we have certain players who are maybe hedging their bets on a qualification spot for support.
So I can add a little bit more fun commentary and something different.
We also have, of course, the patch that recently came out, which is going to change potentially legend meta. We've seen some different.
Hey
things
Reese, what's up?
Scrims, weapon meta shifted ever so slightly as well. So all of these things sort of roll together into this weekend, and I think it's going to be
sure had low ads.
Exciting to see how teams adapt and get their points on the board.
That's seeming to be the biggest conversation piece here. Adaptation is
You have it on low ads. I always try to like remove as many ads as possible.
And
Make
we
life
saw it
easy.
yesterday as well as we take you through some of the highlights of what happened in the beginning of our doubleheader weekend.
And just vibing.
About EMEA showing up.
They showed the list of maps already. I forgot the list though. We'll see in a second.
No, it was pretty simple. Caustic first ban all around. Ronan would have a real fun moment here. Nate finding a way
Makes
to
sense
stay
to bank
alive
Caustic
to the
for endgame. He's annoying.
Just a few seconds added on to the time stayed in the mix, and that would grant them the win. It wouldn't be Ronan's day, though. In fact, what was really wild about this is you see that Hardeki kill on the Ryumatsu. Well, this squad had been holding in VMI, who were under.
What's nice about a watch party is I don't have to talk the whole entire time. Makes my life a little easier. I can add post commentary.
Blind kill, and VMI make a big, difficult win go in their favor, and obviously that puts them in the mix. But you would start to see where the theme of yesterday was. A team that we had called out to say alliances.
I'll let you know when I agree with the casters' calls and when I disagree. And sometimes whenever I say agree and disagree, doesn't mean like somebody's bad or wrong. It just means like when you're predicting the end zones, it just depends on like your best guess at times. Best educational guess and who's going to win and how it's going to play.
They found themselves in what was a pillar.
Doesn't mean it's always how it plays out.
And they had a 3v3 eventually against the Cybercats, who
a lot of G7 and Peacekeeper.
For this final circle, but
I guess it's from yesterday.
Happy to mop this one up.
Yo, Reggie, what's up? Meta, good to see you.
They had tied up the entire series. We kind of knew they were going to be winning this one. Anyway, we go into match 5 and take flight. Well, they were sadly not even getting off the ground because they were going up against previous.
Figured any day to watch would be the last day to watch it because that's when it's the most intense.
Showing what they could do yet again and showing that, you know, they are not to be forgotten here as top teams and a top team in this region. So that was match 5. And then match 6, as I said, it was kind of all sewn up. So it really was about, can anyone maybe just find some extra points here to catch up? And it was going to be handed over to Legion Gaming, who definitely showed what they were made of in this final circle. We saw a lot of Sparrow coming into the equation yesterday as well for EMEA. And you can see why, how important he can be with his ultimate coming out. And then they wrap.
There's a lot of diversity in ALGS, especially with the bands going on.
3 wins. I'm not sure about the first.
Today the last day, I believe so, day 7. 6 rounds today. This is, we're recapping yesterday.
That is a good stat for a character that is yet to really be banned as a high priority. Obviously got her recent buffs, probably first out of the mix before before Caustic even got changed, and that has really allowed, I think, her to sneak under the radar with kind of some of these other characters taking more attention and leaving her open for picks like Kinda, who has been pretty phenomenal.
I have a hot take.
Well,
what if Ranked incorporated like a ban system where they banned 3 legends?
Will we see more of that today?
That would be interesting.
Find out, because
in Diamond Plus,
all of these characters that we just kind of alluded to, Caustic, Newcastle, see Rampart, Gibby a lot. People are having to take 2 different choices, Mark. One is, let's figure out how we can be successful playing this now that this has clearly become a static meta in our league for these last few weeks. Or how do we find ways to deal with it?
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I think something that's certainly developed in the recent week or so of Scrim since we had this most recent patch. One thing to highlight as well that feeds into the ability to make these plays and choose these legends that are giving you a little bit more of an aggressive edge in your composition.
Ranked is kind of starting to mimic this, but not exactly at times. It's getting, this is the closest that Ranked has ever mirrored comp, quote unquote.
About crossing ground, but you're looking at legends like Mad Maggie. We saw the big buff that she had in the most recent patch, where now she's become a real viable option, especially in games 3 to 6, when you're seeing Caustic and Newcastle sometimes being banned. So what you can do, obviously, you have the drill, you have the wrecking ball, you can assault these teams that are stuck in these corners playing those static compositions, as we like to call them. You're also seeing the rise of someone like Wraith coming back into the equation, where you're able to use that portal to not only control the spot that you're playing, but the space around it and influence fights and teams who are interacting.
Jeez, look at the diversity pick. I'm not gonna lie, like it's just like
a great example of it comes in from Aku in a few moments time.
It's like, remember how before it's always like just 3 characters. Doesn't matter which 3. I don't care like what 3 per se, but it's always usually like just like 3 that are always picked for comp. I'm seeing a wide variety of legends.
To essentially be more aggressive, to be able to get kills, to be able to command more space.
I even think that certain picks that people aren't selecting could work.
Previously, and I think, Dan, you've got some stats to back up what has been a little bit of a change in the weapon meta as well.
Yeah, both the legend meta and the weapon meta have been changing kind of back and forth. And we can look at the most banned legends so far throughout the season and how things have changed as well for
see who they're being. Classic, yeah.
And there has been a lot of similarities, and in most case is Caustic has gone as number 1. Alter has usually been number 2 as well.
Surprise on Watson? Huh? No, I guess not. Get rid of Caustic Watson, makes sense.
Specifically happens with Stormpoint, because we will see Newcastle be very prevalent in Stormpoint.
I love how Alter's just like fast on the selection.
Coming in as well, and it's people trying to find a way to negate that.
You're probably wondering, why does Alter drop off after game 4? Because everyone plays slow in the later games.
The patch has come through is that Wraith has definitely become a lot more popular
in terms of match day. Like everyone starts to play smarter and slower. I just say smarter, just slower. More on the line. Can't play as aggro.
Newcastle goes unnoticed and goes unbanned, which will be for a very interesting situation if that happens today. Now, speaking of weapons, they've definitely changed a lot as well thanks to the patch. You can see they've slightly changed from match day to match day, but one thing that Mark will definitely be happy about is the charge rifle from match days 5 to 6.
Still range in a close range peacekeeper.
So I know Mark has a smile on his face right now, but we're also seeing the rise of the scout over the 30-30 a little bit as well. Just those small tweaks to weapons have changed it slightly.
I think weapons are really the hidden kind of motivating piece here. I think Gibraltar doesn't come in the same way if the PK doesn't have the strength that it has. I don't think Newcastle does either. I remember watching Deeds and an interview after one of the match days that we were able to play and saying, man, if no one's playing PK and I got Newcastle, no one else has a shield, and I'm just popping in and out, I mean, of course I'm going to win that fight. And I think there was a slow trickle with that getting buffed as well as the accelerator coming onto the weapon that just made it so good. And then you look at who has good abilities, who has good ultimates that need to get charged. Well, Gibby's always had one of the best ults in the game. Just takes a while. If you got it all the time, now it's a good thing to think about. And I remember match day 2 as well, Dan, we were commentating, seeing Virtus Pro and those guys run into those final zones a couple of times with that big kind of conversation of the characters that have a lot of shields. And then I think we get to see, well, now, Mark, as you properly meant, who's going to challenge that? Who's going to change that, take space, make it difficult for them to play? Overall, a lot of stuff we wanted to set up for today, but we also want to make sure that you know that the teams playing today have different stakes, regardless of the meta and regardless of the weapons coming forward too, in terms of can they even qualify?
All right.
We're going to go into some stats that'll make you realize how intense this fight at the top is. Go Next, yesterday with their performance, Alliance out of the way, were able to dominate. And Dan, I mean,
no kidding, holy.
We called on them to be successful with Alliance no longer in front of their lobby, who had taken that first place spot, and they performed.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this split of Pro League, Go Next were outside of the points to get to champs. So we were kind of looking at it saying, you know, they probably, if they want to secure themselves as dead certs, they have to win Pro League or regional finals. And at the moment, they are doing.
Which team are we rooting for? Man, I'm gonna have to watch because I'm so out of touch because I haven't watched a lot of ALGS. It's been hard to set aside time.
So the fact they're going
That's why this is a great idea to do.
To give them the credit.
Let's dive down deeper into our participants for today's action. As we jump into match day 7, it'll be Group A, who had the rest. Their first time.
If I had to choose,
teams that
I guess a team that I've shoutcasted over before would be Alliance. Alliance is very consistent.
Can they bring that energy here as well? Plus the new addition.
I'm always for teams that stick together for an extended period of time, and Alliance has always been together for a long time.
Of course, the introduction of Kay Swinney as a coach and not a player to that team.
That's like the team I recognize most off bat, like the players themselves.
We led into this weekend thinking would have really a lot of success on set was Roadhouse, and yesterday, not quite what they were hoping for.
Yeah, yesterday was rough.
Like honestly, how long has Alliance been together for at this point? Like the same peeps. Like they rarely change.
Really good in the previous match.
Probably one of the more consistent rosters they've ever had in the game.
These two groups I really wanted to focus in on. They won that day.
I could be wrong saying that. It just feels like it.
Getting 2 wins on 2 different maps as well, which again, keep in mind regional finals, keep in mind match point when you're talking about these teams as a way to qualify for Sapporo. So yesterday, not great.
This is a EMEA.
Still sit at 4th place in the overall standings, which is extremely impressive. It means that they have a chance. And if you're looking at the consistency that they've had throughout their match days, 11 points, 15 points, 25 points, and then
it wouldn't surprise me if we see a rise in Gibraltar in ranks.
Roadhouse, a little bit of an up and down, and I think today is a really big turning point for them.
It has
especially with shotguns being meta.
If you look at Roadhouse and how close they are, really.
Surprised me that his pick rate isn't higher, to be honest.
The overalls, like sitting in 4th place gives them a lot of points, but it might not be enough. They need to keep pushing further. When we were looking at it originally, we were thinking, again, it might need to be a top 2 if they were to qualify. And at the moment, 4th would have them just outside, in my opinion. But we can look back at some of the stats anyway from match day 1, which was one of their average days. This is when we first saw Roadhouse, and we were like, yeah, okay, they're playing all right. Some good damage on the board. That was
the guy in the middle just looks utterly shocked.
But then when we turn to one of their better days, that's when we really got to see Roadhouse.
Now he's not in the middle, he's in the far left, but he still looks shocked.
Match day 4, 2 first places, but not only that,
howdy, Kermit.
they dominated the statistics.
Is it Kermit?
Place
Yeah.
across the board.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Almost
Welcome
every
next
stat
to
except damage taken, which, you know, isn't the worst one to be second place for. 22,000 damage, 40 kills, 58 knocks, 71 points. This is the Roadhouse we need to see today if they are going to get to champs eventually, right? They need to be pushing to try and catch up the likes of Go Next.
You thought it was doing a
Well,
face
it's a
reveal?
great kind of lead into what we're going
That's
to
funny.
talk about here, because
That's just a watch party. I put in the title. I tried to put in the front. It is a watch party. We're vibing. We're vibing, guys.
In Sapporo, Japan, coming up in January. As it stands,
I'm a longbow
these
fan,
are
Johnny.
the
I'm like
championship
nice swig. I
standings for the
love the
teams
longbow.
that would qualify, but this is before we have the results of this split. And remember, if you win your split pro league, you are going to champs. You also, if you win your LCQ,
Oh, Alliance
or
is
come in
killing it.
second
Jeez,
place
I
in
didn't
your
know that.
LCQ,
I said I'm over here like,
you
oh
are
yeah, I'd
going
root for
to
Alliance,
champs
but
as
wow,
well.
my
We have
God.
spots reserved
You're doing
for
great.
those three things.
Didn't realize
specifically.
that.
Otherwise, it is championship points. You can see the cutoff here with TSM being the 24th team. I mentioned those regions and the LCQ winners, and that totals up to 16 to get us to our 40 for Sapporo. But let's move into what would happen if it ended now. Well, you see a couple of those changes. TSM drop back out. You see Alcazia come back in. Go Next, Dan, as we saw there. They jump in and they're in 17th. So I think they feel pretty good about where they're at, considering that if it ended this way, they'd definitely be having a spot in Sapporo.
And notice those stars as well. That means they would have won Pro League, and that would open up a spot for TSM and JDG. And then on the flip side, you've got ST and KCP, who would also be qualifying just through winning their Pro League. But of course, they don't open up another spot because they're not within those top 24 positions. But you can see how tight it was.
I know how it is as a caster as they're like booting up the servers, and you could just kind of have to keep vamping.
In theory,
it should start like any minute now. Like I assume they start 15 minutes after the hour. We got 6 games today that we're watching.
Push them into a championship qualification spot if things ended like that. Now, a lot can change. You've got to remember that from region to region, those spots can be opened up as well. So there is still so much to play for here in Pro League.
And I think for teams like Roadhouse, they're in a different category where they are.
I will draw on the screen occasionally.
If they have a good weekend, able to win regional finals, right? There are some teams that need the points. We're not sure if they would be a contender in that, but they've played pretty well consistently. Roadhouse is certainly a team that could turn it on at the right time, get a win, and find ways to championship. So it's not over just yet.
I do that so then we kind of have this like NFL recap every once in a while, or like in the moment,
your own time,
what I'm looking at.
Your own way. That's, of course, Face It Watch. Make sure that if you want to catch up on Roadhouse, maybe it is checking out on how Aku is fitting in with Lufka and Blast. Now that Funk is on his own different journey back in the Americas, you can see how they're rotating, who they're fighting, how they're taking chances here, or maybe playing it safe just to stay in contention long enough to be in a decent spot, to only be those 12 points behind. You get to watch, you get to control it, and see the ALGS your way. Go to faceit.com/watch and check it out today. Well, all of that just to say that with today being over in 12 hours or so, there is only one more weekend of play before our regional finals. So
unfortunately, I only have time to watch these 6 matches for today, but if you guys enjoy, maybe we'll do more. I just kind of wanted to get a pulse, a vibe check.
On set, Gaskin, take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Excited for today, Dan. I gotta be honest with you. It feels like today, like game number 1. If this was a Nando's order, the ALGS today, it would be lemon and herb. But when we get towards later, I think it's the extra spicy hot. What's your thought on that analogy? I think it's a good one to start the day.
Okay.
So what if you're one of those people who just can't quite get to extra spicy, though? You know, if you're just a lemon and herb enjoyer.
Today's the day to take yourself out of that comfort zone, Dan. Today is the day to get excited.
Interesting that Alliance picks Boardwalk.
Just add a little bit of halloumi on the side and I'm okay. But yeah, this is what we're going to
do
be
they play more
into.
Edge? I assume they play more Edge.
To begin things here. So it'll be slightly different to what you saw yesterday, of course, when you had Storm Point on the horizon. But no, we're going to have a completely different beginning to this one. Now, there are a couple of teams that did prioritize this map. Alliance went for Boardwalk.
It's like I wonder what their rotation would be like at the zone ends over here. How they would go about it, essentially.
Pretty much was World's Edge heavy. No one wanted to look at E-District, and we've said this time and time again. E-District is just a more comfortable map for POI. You don't mind as much what POI you end up with, whereas World's Edge can be a little bit more tricky if you end up with one of those rough points of interest. So that's why you kind of see people prioritize the draft this way. So I'm excited to see if, for example, Zipline Mafia can capitalize.
I hadn't watched ALGS on E-District.
Yeah, City
This will be a first. So we got E-District, 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 World's Edge. I think I said E-District 3 times. And then World's Edge 3.
When it comes to those rings 5 and 6. But this is what you're going to see today. Like Dan said, 3 maps on E-District before we head over to Old Trusty. A little bit of tradition to close the day out with 3 maps of World's Edge. Very excited to see what happens today. And I think we just have to keep reiterating to everyone as well. We are getting towards the close of this split. We are getting towards qualification for Sapporo. So every single match, every point, every kill and placement really does feel more important today.
And when it came to scrims, we did see Caustic
All right.
Wraith be the
Game
bans for
1.
the first 3 matches on E-District. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar here. Definitely expecting to see a lot of Caustic here in Game 1.
Yeah, a lot of Caustic in Game 1. Probably not for the rest of the series, though. It's going to be certainly one of those legends that has to be effective in this game number 1. And it was
Ultra really acts as a great tether, so then you can get to where you need to go and then get out if things are bad.
Pro League games and some of the analysis from our pros around the world. Love a watch party as well, of course, tuning in here. A lot of them are saying it's going to be interesting when we get to match point, because it could be the case that all the controller legends are unbanned and we could have a Caustic team actually winning the event on match point. So we'll keep our eyes, of course, towards the future for that. But in the presence, we're starting off with Roadhouse, a team that we focused in on at the top of the show.
Yeah, it was something I think we mentioned just a couple of weeks ago, because when we got to that match 6, the last controller.
So I guess the most important spots here, boom.
That could happen, but of course, there can be a
I mean, if the
drastic
teams are here,
meta
this
shift
would
before we get to
probably not
champs
be
as well. So
ideal.
who knows what's
I would
gonna
say you
happen
want
when
the
we
upper
get
part of
to
the map right
Sapporo.
here,
But
ideally.
for now, it is definitely controller dominant.
Not too early,
It looks like
though.
We're going to get a restart of this game, though. So ignore the map, ignore the circle, ignore where
Yo,
the
wait a
teams
minute.
are. Doesn't matter. It was just a dry rehearsal. Okay, guys, we will.
Bro, what
go on to the next
happened?
one, and we'll get it sorted.
It's an interesting one as well, because I was saying, I hope
Bruh.
you've got ring console if you're trying to read that zone, because a lot of teams certainly wouldn't have seen that as an E-Bank zone. And I think everyone's
No,
going,
that zone was kind of...
everyone's going to the north who doesn't have console going, why is everybody not here? Why is everybody going south?
Bro.
But yeah, they don't have to worry about that now. Hopefully there's a little bit more of a readable
My
one,
first watch
for
party.
people to walk through.
Big
But I
sad
think it gives
face.
us a chance to just talk about how we've seen the game
Already a
evolve
restart,
over the
yeah.
last week or so since the patch. We obviously saw, I guess,
This
our
is me
first
casting in the
kind of
middle.
litmus test on how
That's
it's been
me.
working at ALGS lobby yesterday with these changes to legends, to guns, and all of that sort of thing. And I think one thing to focus on and
What? No, oops.
kind of highlight what we highlighted in a
put
way which
perfectly
showed the
over.
power, shall we
That
say,
was an
of those
accident.
marksman weapons.
Oh
is
my
how
God.
It has allowed teams to experiment with the compositions a little bit. Just little reductions on headshot damage from 30-30, little bit of a reduction on damage from the charge rifle. All of these things.
We gotta get
and of
back
course,
in
the
there, though.
accelerator
Come
being
on.
added to the scout as well now makes that your number 1 marksman to use, because you're going to be able to get your abilities back a little bit quicker. But it just means you can move a little bit more freely than you could have, and you're not having to rely on this double layer defensive legend composition to get you from point A to point B.
Yeah, you're not just getting 2 tapped as you're walking across. You might get 3 tapped, but it's better than getting 2 tapped, that's for sure. But you are right, it does open things up a little bit. We will see some people still going towards comfort, because when you've been playing a legend composition for X amount of time, sometimes it's actually okay just to stick with it and grind it out, and you might avoid a couple of bans. That's one thing to note as well. We do see people go with the meta, especially Americas. Like, we will see them pick the same thing games 1, 2, and 3 with only a few people kind of diverting away from it. But in EMEA, we do see some teams just being like, actually, no, we're going to stick with our tried and tested. We're going to stick with something that isn't going to get banned. And sometimes that does pay off, and you can sometimes luck out and just kind of get the anti-meta.
I know, we just started and we already got a restart.
I do like the changes that have happened. I do like that we are
Until it'll be
starting
down
to see
from
a few more
ALGS
legends
watch
coming
parties. Let's
to
see how the
play as
viewership
well.
is and how it does
we saw
today.
yesterday a lot more Seer.
Morning, Holly. How's it
Wasn't something
going?
that we like super touched on in the top of show. We said we're going to see.
I can't believe
Seer,
we got a
the
restart
fact that
already.
now you've
Hopefully
got
this
one
is not a
more
common
legend that can
theme.
really change and affect the game. Just means that there's something else for people to think about here in their opening games.
Well, take a look at those patch notes, because like you mentioned, we have had some changes, and if you've been away from the ALGS, firstly, shame on you. Secondly, welcome back. Let's take a look at exactly what has been affected. You can see the legends will kind of focus on here. Mad Maggie, you can see the speed up and the animation of the riot drill means you can be far more aggressive in getting your gun back up after firing that Q into
Yeah,
some of those
definitely
teams in
doing a lot
cover.
better.
The Wrecking Ball is a big one for me. Increased damage.
Coughing fits are
speed,
mostly at
and
night, and then
basically
they've been a
the
lot
whole thing
way
got
better. I'm
buffed.
like,
So
I'm
if
good.
you
It's
are
just
assaulting
been
or
hard with the
trying to
cough.
make a micro rotate as well by using those speed pads. It really is a strong option to be aggressive As well, you can see there's a couple of perks that have been changed as well. If you've got a pistol, you can move just as quick as you can with a shotgun now. So you have the ability to have that movement in those 3v3 engagements. And then you see Seer as well. I mean, you can talk us through Seer here because there's been some changes as well, which is why we are seeing teams feel like Seer is an option now.
Yeah, Seer definitely just adding quite a little bit to people's arsenal.
The people need to take time when it's hard. I've been advocating that for years to support the skill 100%. I mean, pros do the same. That's why they limit their play sessions at times. But there's the pros that also burn out. You'll notice when teams burn out because they're putting way too many hours. It's essentially adopting a pro mindset and not just beating your head against the wall, because that's the fastest way to pretty much like lose your passion.
Now, you do kind of get obliterated if you glide for too long, but it does add to that movement. We've got a lot of players who like to
Can I draw a butterfly? Let's see here, ready?
I mean, the old Horizon players who like to just kind of get up in the air
and
take certain angles. That is possible to do now with Seer as well.
That's kind of a butterfly.
Yeah, get a little bit creative. Although I do think in these ALGS lobbies at this point, if you're hanging in the air for more than a second, probably not the best
butterfly.
idea. You're going to be taking some damage. Yeah, they're going to be like, that guy's not moving. One thing as well.
There we go, butterfly.
If you have a power amp and you're in ult as well, you can really start spamming that Q. So it's one of those things that you can get multiple to really influence a fight going your way. And when we're talking about latter end of the series, like we were a little bit earlier, where legends.
Like honestly, I don't think it would take too long to start the match. Like you would almost like do a straw poll, like vote for, click on the screen the legend you want to ban, and then just that's it, you know.
But I think it's I think today's gonna be very interesting. Of course, as well, we have a lot of team changes, we have roster changes, we have Tyler making a change again, trying to find a team that he's comfortable on to try and force his way.
The problem for casual game often is it becomes a routine. I can see that. The problem is that if it is a routine, that they need to know when to stop, so it's not open ended though.
I'm gonna talk about though when we get there, because probably the biggest news in ALGS in the last year or so. But this is again what we're going to be playing today. We did see a little bit of a hint to B district, but we didn't get to play it down. But didn't see any gunshot.
No gunshot thus far. Just everyone dropping and then having to realize
that is true, and that you got to keep in mind. I've queued up with Preds. I've even queued up with people, and I've underperformed. Not everyone performs at a highest level all the time. You can literally get a pro player as your teammate, and they just drop the ball. The unfortunate RNG that you get in Apex.
Ash was actually used a lot more in EMEA than it was the Americas, and again, I think that might be down to comfort from previous patches and just in general being more comfortable with Ash.
All right, here we go.
Instead of Alter at times, but we'll have to see whether
Game
that
one.
carries through, as it looks like we are back into match one here.
Well, it looks like we're ready, everybody. Welcome along.
Hopefully they keep the matches going after this.
Sunday is where we are, and this is where you need to be. A doubleheader today, of course. Doubleheader weekend as well. We've got Americans coming later, but we start with EMEA, and we're starting off with a team that we haven't even mentioned so far, Alliance.
I'm surprised they haven't mentioned Alliance. I've been talking about Alliance.
Good.
It's always exciting when Alliance are on your screen, but not to kill the excitement. Not to kill the buzzkill. This might be another restart here. I'll wait for official confirmation. But
I always appreciate the loop patterns are always no way. I'm about to get up and walk away. There's no way. There's no way.
I'm excited to see Alliance.
There's no way. Stop it. I'm being trolled. What is going on? No way.
Across the board. That's probably going to be matches 1 and 2 bans, so I can already spoil that one for you. That's not going to change. No matter how many times we restart,
there's no way.
It's getting banned.
Yeah, I think everybody realizes at the moment it's like, okay, Caustic Game 1. It's the Caustic game. I've heard it being called. Everyone plays it.
What is going on?
The strength of the character, right? It did actually undergo. I'm going to not call it a nerf, because let's just say that he was. He wasn't really nerfed. It was.
I feel so bad for the casters right now.
You know, the barrels and being able to, interact with it.
This right here, when the casters have to just vamp, is like a living nightmare.
It's still going to be game 1.
How do they choose to ban legend? It is done through a. That's a great question. How do I not remember this?
I'm interested to see.
My brain is blanking. Chat, somebody help me out.
Gets to a point where it doesn't make the ban on game 1. Is there going to be a?
Oh, it's done through which legend was picked the most. There we go. It's not voted on. If somebody picks that legend as the highest pick rate, then that legend is banned, I believe.
The problem with Caustic is there's so much Caustic, you kind of have to play Caustic with how the legend is.
We're going to go for a break, everyone, while we get this match ready to go. Hopefully you can bear with us. Sorry for the little bit of a false start here. Sorry that you had to listen to us, but trust me, there's going to be some amazing games coming up very soon. We'll see you on the other side when game number 1.
No, they haven't said the reason for the reset, actually. All right, well, we get to just chill and vibe? Wow, that's crazy. They were vamping so hard with the casters they gave him a break. That's insane.
They got out of the way. They ran outside, man. No, he's peeking me. Healing?
No, on my back. 100, dead. Run.
It's smart they have this, otherwise they would be vamping for another like 5-10 minutes.
I'm in one. Yeah. Resing. Oh, okay. Nice.
TP back, I'm taking TP back.
Okay, unders, there's 2 teams in front of me. 3 kills. On me as well, on me fighting as well.
There's a team on us, Stefan.
Wait, Pete this, man, Pete this.
Yeah.
Crack.
Really close. Dead, nice.
Last one.
Man, it's crazy how I've always known that Alter was going to be an insane pick.
Do you need help? They're fighting on the right.
The buffs just like really pushed her over in a good way.
Yeah. I'm playing the rock, boys.
The only thing that drives me crazy is that her fallback is like overshadows her tactical usage. I don't really know. They didn't say why, if it was a servers or if somebody accidentally picked the wrong legend. Nobody said why. Ooh. Oh, come on, that's crazy. Dude, he's accidentally doing a finisher, bro. But yeah, I don't know why they started the server. This is the second round that they've like stopped, like they've ended, and they didn't say why.
Top three, chill. They're fighting hard, go.
Okay.
They're hard fighting.
I shot.
No team.
You cast one.
Last one.
80. Cracked. One. Nice.
Oh my god.
Going on at the moment, we'll see whether or not they're able to make anything of their position. As we can see, our game 1 winners looking strong as a full team, looking to try and clean up. Kraber online, Marquez. Can he land the
Take a
shot?
shot.
Yes, he can.
I'm looking at highlights, but I haven't seen these highlights, so.
And he's gonna get way down as well. This is just Marquez's show right now, okay?
Hold on.
Yeah, they
I'm
are
only doing a watch
so
party, so technically I could eat.
with their sniper rifle in hand, but Wolves,
Right now, there's
they
nobody.
finally
Oh, thank
rotate
you.
out to get any of the
you,
picks.
sweetie.
They're just getting harassed by so much utility that they go back to the low ground.
Did I see Mad? Yeah, there's a lot of Mad Maggie. There's the pick rate is all over the place right now in terms of what people are running.
Yeah, I mean, he's just farming right now. Marquez, he's getting so many picks right now, but the people are just dropping down and feeding him kills at the moment, and he's gonna get another one here from Remarkable.
I mean, whenever the games start, we will. I mean, this is just everyone. Everyone's just kind of chilling right now.
He's hit 400 damage with a peacekeeper, and he's running out of ammunition. That's probably the only thing that's gonna stop him, Stoney, I'll be honest. As we can see, Donut is also gonna get a knock. Wolves esports are here. They are dominating. We can see they have got the reset as well. Donut goes aggressive, cleans up Remarkable team. We have 3 squads left. NML, they're down to a solo, Stoney. I don't know what's happened on the other side of the map, but Rendang and NML have just taken each other out, and Wolves esports are here to clean up.
Oh, this is disgusting. He's gonna finish it off with one of the best end games by a single.
Yeah, the most meta I've seen is mostly Alter and Ashe, but even then, I've seen a lot of diversity in terms of like what people pick. Bro, that charge rifle.
Watch out, I'm gonna look clear this guy. Dead, an RV.
Kill right there.
Hey, at least there's some good clips here.
Team in the open. Left, look.
Yeah, you're fine. We're gonna third this right side.
Sheila. 210, killed castle.
Welcome back, everybody.
Okay,
to
finally.
Welcome back to Pro League. Welcome
Let's go.
to EMEA, and welcome to game number 1. Everyone's in the lobby. Everyone's ready to go, and we are going to
Similar zone.
So, a little bit of
Not as
foreshadowing
much.
for
I don't think it'll pull as much here. I don't think there.
Maybe everyone's
This
like,
is a
"Wait
good
second,
building.
We've seen this one
Okay,
before."
building here.
Yeah, confirmation. 19 caustics, 18 alters, 14
This whole
Newcastles,
area right
and
here
then
is
we do
probably
have
a little
few
more
teams
ideal. We'll see
running
where it
something a
pulls
little bit different.
exactly.
A few cryptos, Sparrows,
People for late
Mad
rotation
Maggie,
can be
Ash,
up
Wraith,
here.
Bangalore. So there are definitely teams trying something a little bit different here or there, but we are still.
Yeah, we got
dominated
Caustic
by
probably
the
gonna be
Alter
banned
Caustic
'cause everyone's
meta in
picking
the opening
Caustic.
game here. Now, in terms of teams that
Alter Caustic, and then the third is kind of a bit up in the out in the open.
by the likes of Zipline Mafia and Flight by the looks of it.
Yeah, it does look like that is going to be two teams with great prio. Onyx are also making their way in. 07 moving towards that southwestern side, where I think a lot of teams are going to be interested, in finding a position. Take flight though. For now, I think they were trying to access.
It's an early fight. What's up with that?
They're taking a lot of damage on their way.
All right, well, we got to stall the game. Are they just? There's no way they posture up this early though.
Always good to just take a second to pop to the bathroom, get the wall down, and then they can get back up to full health. But they've already got a couple of, I would say, unlikely neighbors at the start of this one who have better.
Yeah, this is a mess this early on. That's kind of crazy.
Take flight, certainly aware of their surroundings at the moment. You can just see by the way they're playing, they are very concerned that they might be pushed. And a couple of attempts at getting a little bit of an abduction. Oh, and it is going to be a back and forth, but both teams okay for now.
Reminding me of the difference between European and American public toilets there. American ones with far bigger gaps to look through.
This is a bad situation to be in. You got barely any resources, and you're liable to get thirded.
I don't want to know, and I don't want to know the answer to that question either. But at the moment, it looks like a battle of just trying to survive between these two teams. But what a pace we're starting up here. Killer Whales already.
Yeah, everyone's playing very aggressive.
DJ already found one.
Yeah, definitely a lot of early fights at the moment. Just so many teams moving early.
Yeah, probably people are just trying to keep warmed up since they haven't played.
Considered to be the final circle, and that's
they probably warmed up a bit, and they're probably cold.
Get to a spot, especially in these early games where it is so prevalent with the likes of Caustic, with a lot of Newcastle. You can kind of
nice
build
movement.
a base.
Speaking of which, sorry to interrupt, but look at the composition that Killer Whales were playing.
Yeah, what were they running? Ash,
Bangalore, and Sparrow.
Yeah,
I believe. So, no Caustic, no Newcastle. I think they want to fight people, Dan. Did you get that idea? Maybe they want to take a few fights?
I think that would suggest it, yeah. And also they will avoid the bans for quite a while as well. So something that they can look forward to is just staying with a consistent composition. Now, Roadhouse, we highlighted them.
She's the highest pick rate is Newcastle as the third.
At the moment in the overalls here in EMEA Pro League, but we also saw how it stands with the championships qualifications.
It's interesting because you don't see that comp pick in ranked yet.
Three, so they need to go that one step further, try and catch up the likes of NVMI, Alliance, and go next.
A bit of a disappointing match though for them yesterday has made that a little bit of a more pressurized situation to be in. But a good day today, and all will be forgotten. Killer Whales on that composition we were talking about. Found a little bit of a spot in zone, but they're going to have to move across to their north through that wind tunnel, or potentially over it if they do have an evac, which you can see in the back.
Killer Whales kind of going for an interesting comp here.
But I think that they want to fight their way to it with this composition.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight. They've already got one kill, which isn't bad.
Accelerator pop-up is going to mean the ultimates and the abilities are going to be coming back a little bit quicker if you can output some damage as well, which is one of the contributing factors to why we're seeing that in the hands of players.
Even though they're just occupying space, they're not actually like, if they intended to push, they'd all be three together right now.
Personal favorite of mine.
Because if you look, their third is just watching. So if you're wondering, like, are they intending to push? The answer is kind of no.
Did you do air quotes?
I did.
They're mostly just holding. If they try to push that team, they'll probably get thirded. It's really early on.
I might as well embrace it.
So Killer Whales, I mean, I understand why they're going for the aggression. If they want to make it to champs, they need to be getting points on the board. They need to be at least qualifying for regional finals so that they can have a chance of doing the Hail Mary and winning regional finals, really. Legion Gaming, they're going for the more tried and tested and obvious composition. It is the most popular in this lobby at the moment, Newcastle, Caustic, and Alter, and they're kind of fine. They're sitting pretty, they're happy here. They are having a couple of pop shots over towards other teams at the moment, but it's a waiting game. At this point, when you don't have the next ring console information, when you don't know where it's going to be going following, you just have to kind of wait, be patient, see where everyone else's goes, and accept your position and hold it for now.
A couple of teams who are on the outside of this zone at the moment as we have
So it pulled a little less over here than I thought.
Ronin on the right-hand side of your screen, they're heading towards Stadium to try and
I wonder if it's going to pull more north here.
Information. You've also got Alliance
Maybe?
who are doing something pretty similar on the opposite side of the map over at Neon Square.
Not here.
So where
Not
this
here.
zone pulls is going to be interesting.
It could pull.
You're going to have that information.
It's either going to be like right here or right here. It'd be very strange if it pulled to the far left. That's possible, but I'm kind of banking no.
To the south,
no.
See how busy that north.
It's mostly going to be in that middle area. I'm pretty sure.
Teams are going to fall and have to fight their way towards zone.
It's going to be difficult to play for Ring 4 information because the info they just got there of Ring 3, it doesn't really help them that much. Alliance and Legion Gaming both hit Ring Console at the same time, and okay, it's slightly pulling towards the southern side of Bank. I guess that is good info to have, but it's not a drastic shift that is really going to give you
Everyone's still up.
advantage. So I'm trying to look around to see if anyone can get Ring 4
I
information
had to say
when
that.
does happen. That's certainly going
They're gonna res it, looks like.
Alliance, after that Ring Console information, they have moved in, and they did manage to get a knock on their journey through as well.
The Alliance will be safe.
Even though people are getting
so
knocks, it's really hard to capitalize on anything.
Stream, but it's about getting deeper for them. It's about finding their way into a stronger
Too many teams
position.
nearby.
Of course, going to be waiting to see where that zone pulls, I would imagine, before they try and plan their next rotate, having found a safe spot. And they're also trying to hold out the teams who are moving in behind them, but unfortunately for them, Hackers has just been taken down by Denze. And now they're going to have to look to reset. Unlucky on the Newcastle, should be able to get him back.
Yeah, being
up.
on,
They're gonna have to expel some resources
you know,
here.
res duty or the support of the squad is never fun, but it's one of the most important roles.
Yeah, Castle will also dropped a lot of ultimates.
It's always more fun to be on the flashy character.
Unlucky, though, is Chunk. It does get chunked back. Bongo is going to be able to get the knock, but
Nice.
it's not going to matter. Killer Whale's aggressive.
As close as it's going to be.
Will be wiped out by Alliance, showing how the defensive comp can hold strong.
If you're in zone and you're holding, this
That was
kind of
good.
composition is so deadly.
They getting run up on?
Not only the reset ability that we saw as well, but the ability to put down cover, to take those fights, to peek and prod with those peacekeepers. Perfect display there from Alliance of how to turn a difficult situation into one where it's points on the board and a spot that is your own. So Alliance now cleared their backs. Now they can look forward to where that next rotate's going to be.
I'm really curious where the next zone is going to
There
end.
is a Ring Console in draft point, so Alliance, if they wanted to, could play this one a little bit slower, hit the Ring Console, get Ring 4 information, and then try and force their way in. But at that point, you do offer the opportunity to everyone else in the
Alter
lobby to
just
get into some of
provides
those big
so much
positions
versatility.
before you. But one thing that Alliance have always done well is bullying their way into zone. They are so confident in taking their fights. Even when they went a man down there, they still win the fight because they know how to apply the right pressure in the right areas, and also when to drop those defensive abilities.
A lot of teams are going to be safe now for quite some time. It's going to be a little bit of a range battle between teams just trying to poke and prod. If they don't have purple evos, finding a way to try and get those evos up a little bit more to...
Still anybody's game right now. It's really too early. Sorry, I had my cursor on the screen.
No
My bad.
teams outside of zone. It's about where that next zone forces people at the moment. I think a lot of teams are very split on where it is going to go. Just looking at our map overhead at the moment, Dan, it feels like everyone is kind of hovering around the perimeter. One team who has got something that's going to help them is FaZe Clan. They've just had a mythic being spawned on them.
That's great news for FaZe. See what they get, any goodies for them to work with. But you're right, everyone hovering at the moment because it's uncertainty of knowing really where to commit. And also, it's
these teams on the south side are going to have a hard rotation. It's not pulling exactly towards them.
Trained towards you, and this is why we're seeing a lot of poke fights, as that poke fight does go in favor of the opposition team.
Oh gosh, one took the wrong TP.
Here, and this is another reason why Alter is so popular in these lobbies, because you have the ability to do this.
And that team is not going to push them, but they are going to get stuck here. Right there. That's going to be a tough spot. They're going to have to fight inevitably here.
To reset, but
they got a minute, but they have to move up.
The rotate that you are trying to make, and it becomes just a little bit more difficult. That percentage chance of failure just increases second by second. So Ronin now,
it's not looking good for these two teams regardless. They're going to get gated at that choke as well. They got an uphill battle.
They don't have the ability to go into zone and get that Ring Console either. By the way, Alliance were looking down towards draft point to see whether they could get Ring Console.
This fight's taking way too long.
Zone 4, which would provide them the
it's hard because I mean, it's like, how are you going to find the opening? Nobody's really making a mistake quite yet.
Same spot as them, so there might be a fight happening down towards draft point sooner rather than later. As Ronin are going to have to try and scout around from their southern side, but they're at such a height disadvantage at the moment. It's difficult to take these fights.
They can always port through the wall. I think they pinged it. Right here, they can always port through that.
Teams who are going to have an LOS on them as they walk through this low ground. Not a lot of cover to play with. That's what they're trying to use. These alter cues to stay hidden from
now the team up above is going to third them. This is their chance. This team needs to move up over onto them.
It's a 2v2.
And if SPS are in the fight,
they're falling back already.
Are also going to be in the area scouting towards this one as well. So it might go from bad to worse here for Ronin, who have to retreat through that altar portal yet again here just to survive.
That's crazy. Alter, man, Alter.
Come the Alliance army.
Alliance looking to force this fight. Let's jump into a listen in right now with Alliance and see if they can find these kills.
Yeah, hold you.
Can we like go inside the tunnel here? Wait. Peeking, I'm peeking.
Yeah, just get info, get info.
They're resting. Go. They just rest on height. You can say me, play me.
30.
You can play me.
Whoa. Oh, don't want HP. They don't want HP.
Dead. Look, guys.
This is a great gate and positioning by Alliance here.
Oh no, I got some. On you.
Gotta keep it clean, make sure nobody gets knocked. That's good.
I ulted him. Okay, I'm batting. All you fight, all you.
I ulted him. We're good.
Yeah,
Scanning.
Another team far right.
Alright.
Listen, there might be a solo boss. From the first team.
No, I killed random Caustic, by the way.
No, guys. There's gas here still. There's still a guy alone.
Okay.
Solo.
Can we kill him?
They just test.
Is that them? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
One guy.
Okay.
It's pulling towards the south side. It's not pulling north like I thought. I mean, we mentioned either kind of like the middle south.
I'm not stealing, bro.
Alliance is in a really great spot. If they could just push forward afterwards
Looting.
and get this like height area right here, they're gonna be in a really great spot.
No, they're back now.
Well, everything going right for Alliance at the moment as we come
Looking
out
good
of
for them,
this.
though.
3 KP already for Hackis on your screen, but they have to move, and that zone is pulling pretty central to Energy Bank, Dan. And I think a lot of teams were worried about where that zone was going to go. Well, now they're about to find out.
Yeah, that'll be good news for Onic and Endorse. Also good knowledge there from Hackis just to know that there was a rat behind them just purely off of Caustic Barrels still being up as well. And sadly, the SPS rat was eliminated. Now,
There's really not many
Baseline
places
on
to play the
northern
center.
side are not the only team who are trying to fight their way through. They might be able to just
If you do, you're just gonna
scarf
get bullied by
around
everybody.
away from the conflict that's happening on the western side.
If Alliance, oh no.
Actually find themselves into zone. It's looking pretty good for FaZe as Hackis has gone down but does get picked straight back up here, but it looks like
I think
Alliance
it could reset, good fallback.
Yeah, really struggling.
Oh, they didn't get it. Unfortunate.
We're going to take non-supporter away, but there's only 44 seconds left on this game clock. And
That's kind of it for Alliance there.
And effect is down as well, so unlucky.
There's no way they're going to get the res off here.
Very tough couple of decisions to make here to try and force their way into zone. And it was Ronin, by the way, who, remember, had to take that Void Nexus twice on their way in towards zone. Well, they've managed to do so, and now they're surviving, and now they are safe almost on the edge of zone as well.
Citadel getting the res, but that might just encourage a push here. As you can see, there was a team that
Are they getting the res?
press then, and Ronin are now having a look at it as well.
Is Alliance getting the res off there?
It's going to force this fight to happen most likely, as elsewhere you can see a couple of pop shots. More teams struggling to get in because of the zone. 07.
This end zone is really bad. You want at least want to have the height on the south. There's just not a lot of cover, which is why people are running Newcastle.
And Kishira's point of view to do something special, but he's pinched between two teams. He's going to go down as well. 07 eliminated.
The teams are just going to get pinched. You see the upper part? This is realistically the best part to really play. Because if you're down below, this is all like bad, you know?
You're just going to be cannon fodder for those teams who have got better position and are set up for the late game. But now we've still got a few teams that are struggling. Very close.
The only downside is that the south side is very congested right here.
Kind of being pressured by Citadel Gaming at the moment. And this is where the altar portals come in handy.
Just surviving, just delaying, taking damage. But they have lost one here as MG Clutch will go down.
A lot of Peacekeeper, man.
The next one to fall. Fullerville eliminated in the meantime elsewhere.
Two altars looking at him.
Zuni's flying in there to try and finish this off. Ronin will be eliminated, but Citadel are down to just one, and Zuni's going to have to use a couple of void passages himself to try and survive here.
Citadel come in, and it's a clean sweep in the end. Citadel, remember, they were the team who got the res initially, but were able to hold off. As I say that, Citadel get eliminated. Legion Gaming will be the ones.
All right, let's see. Who do you think has the best chance? Honestly,
but Citadel did very well to survive that long.
I don't think it's going to pull up here, but I think FaZe Clan does have the highest chance right there, to be honest.
So they're going to be able to walk in relatively comfortably.
As long as they can hold their spot.
West Empire, Onic, Roadhouse. That's going to be a very difficult one.
Because they have a lot of space and they have height.
FaZe in a fantastic
as long as they can just hold that.
How they found a mythic bin. Well, now he might be in a position to really convert on that position to become a first.
There's no way they drop on that. If they drop on that, they're insane. Did they drop on that? I think they had height up here. I'm kind of surprised.
Somewhat controversial name on the lineup as well. Zidane is back, causing problems in EMEA.
Yep, I saw a couple of tweets from him as well, just shaking up the region a little bit, but Onic looks like maybe
I'm surprised they dropped on that.
Last breath here in this game. 5 squads remain, but it's
I guess you can always get back up with Alter.
Now they'll be eliminated. Roadhouse will get the kills, and that leaves us with Legion, Roadhouse, FaZe, and Endorse.
FaZe has the best spot right
Legion
here.
have really taken a lot of space on that southeast side now, and the zone is going to be shifting slightly more east than it is west. So FaZe and
Yeah,
Legion
they don't have to move at all. They're
benefiting
chilling.
the most from it.
If FaZe can hold off Endorse here on this high ground,
They'll win. If they lose this, it'll be a throw. The only team that's a threat is this one, but they just got to hold them out.
see that on your map
Keep up
overhead
their
right now. They have the most
pressure.
space in the lobby, and if they can influence the
Because
fight
they literally can look. These two
between Endorse
teams
and FaZe Clan, that's
have to
gonna
run
be
into
the
each other.
opportunity to
And
win,
this
but they
team
have to be aware
has to
of
move
Roadhouse.
forward as long as they
Roadhouse
pressure
stay on
them.
the ground
This team
underneath.
could
That's
look
why
down
we see the
below.
position of FaZe
We'll see
Clan
though.
on our screens right now in one of those tunnels. But for FaZe, this is a golden opportunity. And with the golden G7 scout in your hands, Zane, who's been putting up crazy numbers in scrims recently, is probably thinking about getting his team out to a great start here.
The fact that FaZe have the crypto as well could just add a little bit of something to this final circle. That drone, the EMP, might just give them an extra edge when it comes to damage. And just
That team underneath
flustering
has a real big
position
impossible
teams as
task.
well. Roadhouse, they've arguably got the
Now,
hardest job
Roadhouse
because
could
they're stuck
arguably-
in such a difficult position.
We're kind of saying the same thing. It's funny. I would say if they played their ult and then they played Newcastle tactical patiently, there is a chance here. There it is, yeah. And put their tactical down and just hold hard. That was a really good wall. The only downside is the team, like, they're going to get sandwiched here in a second. FaZe keeps out high ground, it's GG's. Literally GG's. FaZe wins if they hold out the high ground. They have better armors too.
Sadly for Endurance, because they took so much damage, it meant they couldn't really push this engagement, and they've been backed into a corner.
Oh, they dropped them down. That's perfect. FaZe wins this. There's no way. If FaZe loses this, I swear that's a hard throw.
And now they can turn their attention down on the low ground to Roadhouse. Most of Endorse have been dealt with.
Oh my god, yeah, they're bullied there. It's unfortunate. Oh, wow, the other team got eliminated.
They need to be making sure they get this done somewhat quickly because Legion
Surprised they're not just blasting out the wall.
avoiding all this gunfire. And FaZe don't want to have to drop off and be vulnerable to both teams. They want to really wipe.
They need to wipe faster, or else it's gonna be a throw.
You can see they're trying to do just that. But Legion Gaming now have to press up to the hedges.
Oh, Excel's being popped here by Nax as well.
There it is. Now they gotta just get a little bit of damage here.
If they can get that Nox gas canister back, they should be a win here.
It's a big opening.
But they do have to drop, and when you drop, it means your guns aren't up.
They need a wall immediately. Oh, nice. They have this. This is theirs as long as they land their shots here. They've just got to land their shots. Nice. I said there's no way. There's no way they lose that. It's I'd argue maybe they should have just shot the wall out because the Newcastle wall or the Newcastle tactical, but still, I mean, it worked out.
From FaZe in scrims, and remember, FaZe need to win Pro League or regional finals if they want to make it to Sapporo. There is no getting through points. They're just not really going to be able to get there on finishing second, third. It has to be a win, and there's a big job to do if they want to catch up the leaders as well with these 3 remaining match days. So maybe they're just looking at regional finals as the realistic opportunity here, but you've also got to keep pressing and give yourself that opportunity regardless.
Yeah, I think everyone's been waiting for FaZe to do something, right? It's been like the meme, the poke the stick meme. It's been do something, FaZe. Well, doing something in game 1 is exactly.
When they do something, they didn't have to do anything. They literally had the best position. It worked out in their favor so heavily. There's no way you lose that. If they lost it, I think everyone would be like, "How did you lose that?"
Roadhouse coming in behind them, 7 kills down. Very impressive from Roadhouse to come out of that situation with 7 kills.
Yeah, Roadhouse 7, Alliance also, by the way, got 8 kills, even though the fact they went down in 13th position. But that's the performance that Roadhouse need. If they want to be catching up, if they want to be pushing for that top 3, pushing for the chance of getting to champs via points, they need to be dominating lobbies like this. They need to be taking advantage of the likes of GoNext not being in this lobby as well. Now, FaZe Clan, though, they were really the team.
I assume Caustic is going to get banned.
Mythic,
There's no way he stays in this.
They were able to just kind of walk and wander their way into one of the best positions. They didn't take too many fights around that spot. Instead, they kind of went unknown a little bit. And I think that's very important sometimes, is when there is an angle, when there is a chance for you to just sneak round, sometimes you have to just be as quiet as possible because you can find some of the best spots.
Yeah, 2.4k damage for Zane in that game as well, just eclipsing everyone else in the lobby. I said he's had good numbers in scrim as well. That's carrying over to Pro League. We'll have to see if it carries over to game 2 as well. We're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, game number 2 is coming your way.
Hopefully it is a quick break, because we've had 2 like resets already, you know? Positioning is everything in this game. Skill and like gun skill, of course, but like if you just have the better positioning, it's really hard to lose. And if you lose, you're like, man, we lost because I just whiffed. Like, we have to whiff pretty hard. Our next match in a minute. Hopefully they keep this momentum. That's good. We got 2 more rounds of E-District, by the way. I would say so much of those fights are saved by fallback. And this is the same issue. This is why I made the video about hesitating utility. It's amazing where I've said it multiple times. It happens in ranked, and I saw one person in the comment section disagree with me. It's like, just because you get a knock doesn't mean you still can't make a dumb mistake like I did in the video. At the start of the clip, I made a bad mistakes and I got absolutely rolled. Just because you get a knock doesn't mean it's over. Alter creates such a fast fallback. Newcastle reses. You can get a knock, but if all 3 players are looking at you after that res, you're just dead. You're literally dead.
Welcome back to
I've been, luckily, since I'm just watching, I've been muting myself in a cough. I'll take some cough medicine though. Should carry me over through the stream.
Kind of start to show up the way we've been hoping they would. Snetic and Nags and Zane really making a show of it, Mark.
All right.
It's been fun to
should
see.
carry me over so I don't cough at all. But I've been muting myself for the most part.
What happened?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing to look at for the viewers at home here on this final circle, and how FaZe essentially managed to kind of felt like wander into Godspot, was off the first and second zone pool. I think a lot of teams are expecting that zone to go down to the southwest, which is where you saw a lot of the traffic start to build up.
Like Lifeline trying to res you middle field. I mean, if they throw a Halo, sure.
A familiar ending for a lot of the teams based on that first zone read or second zone read based off a ring console. And I think just FaZe just arrived late and just got a little bit of fortune going their way, that everyone had banked upon that. Maybe a little bit of that classic, oh, we see a lot of teams over here, it must be going this way. So everyone starts to kind of be influenced by everyone else's position. But FaZe, once they're in this position, I need to talk about Zane, because I kind of highlighted his damage output in scrims. It has been off the charts. And if you look at the difference between him and everyone else in that lobby, everyone else in that top 3 was around 1k, just over or just under. Zane had 2.4k. That is a huge difference. And I think when you've got a player like that who's starting to find that form, starting to find, I think, a little bit of the drive back as well with Sapporo around the corner, FaZe is going to be dangerous.
He's also the type of player that we've been waiting to see him reach his peak potential. We saw a glimpse of it back at LAN a few years ago, and then all of a sudden he's really become a staple, I would say, in the EMEA Pro League, but hasn't quite found that rhythm that made us scream at the top of our lungs and say Zane with people cheering on in the background. It feels like maybe, just maybe, this could be the iteration that we've been hoping to see of him. At least I think this is the right combination of players. Synetic, I think he had a great run last year. I was really surprised that they weren't able to make more done. They had a good LAN performance over in Europe when we visited in Germany, and I think that the other elements in LA, they were.
I really want to get into the next game because they were delayed in the first 2 or the first one.
To be with Zane, I think this is a great pick. And also the crypto. I mean, this is an early crypto. We don't see every team bringing this out, Mark. How do you feel about
All right, caustic band.
Well, obviously we got the traditional caustic band game 1.
Guarantee afterwards be altered.
Is going to last?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think, if I'm being completely honest with you, I think one thing that crypto really does help is IGLs who have been struggling a little bit in their composition, because you get so much free information. And not only that as well, of course, you can go and hit survey beacons, so you're going to get even more information on how you want to plan and rotate. And I think if you've been struggling a little bit to read the game as an IGL, give yourself the tools to make it easier for you. And I think that,
all right, game 2, let's go.
Crypto in the composition is certainly going to give you those tools, and you can see it from FaZe there. The walk-in that they managed to find was everything they could have absolutely dreamed of in that position. And then when you've got Nags and Hussein back, like you said, we've seen what they can do as fraggers. It's about putting them in the position to survive and do that damage. And I think FaZe, when we looked back to when they were struggling to get.
He's already got ideal loadout
in games. They would fall.
I like how they just switched to Watson. If there's no caustic, then we just go Watson. I tell you guys, caustic is really strong. I know it's like not so much in ranked, but in comp it's just it's crazy.
That have the confidence to do it. We've interviewed Nags.
It's because everyone plays so aggressively in ranked.
And he's talked about his ability.
Plays a little different.
Confidence. Obviously, teams and rosters have shuffled. That's what we want to bring back to. There has been the shuffling of the pack, not just in terms of the legends, but in terms of the players. This team stayed together, though, but maybe that shuffle, for whatever reason, brings them back into a position that they feel comfortable. The players around them, the dynamics of this meta. I'll have to keep a close eye.
A lot of
on
Alter, a lot of
Stick with
Watson,
the Cryptos,
Newcastle.
and did a good job.
Okay.
Last game coming out on top.
If anywhere, you probably want to hold here. It's not going to end here. It's not going to end here.
Hasn't been banned
maybe.
frequently. Still looks like it's not going to get banned.
This area right here.
Alter or the Newcastle will certainly be
is where you want to be.
Go away. Just a matter of who's got the.
I think teams already know that. That's why they're fighting for it. This is going to be a big mess, though. That if everyone tries to fight for it, you're about to see a big mess right here, here, here.
Maybe a little bit, slightly outside of heights.
I don't think they'll all shove. I think they'll play on different levels.
I think a lot of teams might be thinking about going to Galleria and hitting that ring console, but the danger of that is if everyone has the same idea.
I mean, these teams could just kind of work their way and look at this. Look at this. What's going on right here? Everyone knows. I called it, and dude, I mean, everyone's that's the go-to instinct, man.
This will be the last game.
We're on game 2, Poker Face. We're doing a watch party.
19 alters out of 20. That's 95%.
Alter's getting banned next round.
So clearly something
great
is,
maths. I'd be proud of that one.
Clearly, trust me, I didn't do it off the top of my head. That was Doug. He just wrote it in. Shout out to our producing team. But you know, obviously, Alter is going to be so impactful on E District. One thing I've noticed, and keep an eye out for this, maybe in game 3, is
there's a lot of buildings here that people can hold. So 1, 2, bottom area 3, and then 4 on the other end, 5. So you got a lot of spots to hold here, like boom, 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 boom.
Composition
a lot of good spots to hold.
Players are tested to come up with something pretty unique, unless they're playing something off meta. And I think right now you're going to see that in game 3. Your last chance with Alter, who's so crucial on E District, is Onic. We follow along with them, taking a couple of shots outside.
Got a little pick there. Little poke.
Fun little drone as well to pop. Was a good feeling. Just give you, it's almost a feeling of safety when you pop a drone. It's just like, oh, we don't have to worry about that.
Essentially, Alter gives you the reset. It's like, hey, that didn't work, or that rotation didn't work, or that push didn't work. Let's go again. Let's try. Try number 2.
Particular, if it does pull this way, will finish outside of that building that they find themselves in. Another team right in front of you take flight. They're going to be in a really good position for this end game.
I'm surprised he's moving up on that. You see that?
It's a tough zone to get into late.
Oh, he's going for that. I see. Risky. Nice.
Kind of shops, I think the best way to call them.
I mean, they need the loot.
In the background, that big wall that you can play, but very difficult to hold down, especially now we don't have caustic. So
all these teams are not going to fight. They're going to wait to end zone until something happens. They'll do some poking, but
might be fighting, by the way. Cybercats Alliance are very close to each other on the outside of zone at the moment. As Take Flight will just be thinking about outputting damage.
Watson, Newcastle, Ultra. That's not a bad comp at all, man. That's really strong.
Right. And
even if you're playing ranked, that's a really strong comp.
This zone is kind of brought to
2 resets and a nice fallback.
In terms of the dynamics of a top team, that's Alliance.
It's the only downside is you don't pushing power per se. Like you can't just fly across the map.
A little bit of a slow, maybe easy path there. They've got a isolated 3v3, which I think if you're effect unlucky in hockey,
Pokers, yeah, she's strong because she creates space.
May not even be a 3v3, might be a 3v2
or creates cover. Excuse me.
Alter Portal to catch up. He's so close to going down. PKMK.
It's like having Newcastle. Newcastle Rampart, good combination.
In the midst of another battle, taking down Neglect as well. So 2 top teams getting added. Aku finding cracks. And that is probably still no kills from Alliance, but the chase certainly happening on Cybercat. So 2 teams getting into it early, Mark.
Yeah, you can see the confidence from FaZe there, right? I mean, they have a good building in zone. They also have the confidence of how game number 1 went. They didn't want to let anyone get near that building. Their immediate reaction to being approached was to force that team to fight. And if you were coming off the back,
they're all taking those buildings. It's crazy. Everyone just knows it's ending over there.
Alliance, we're not going to be able to find the kill as yet, but still looking out for Cybercats in the area. It looks like Cybercats have created enough.
Alliance is looking for some kills right now. Looking for some stragglers.
Their way forward. There is a ring console over in City Hall at the moment, which is probably why Alliance want to dominate that space so they can find that information out for their next rotate. SJP2, a little bit of a tight spot here with zone closing behind them.
Luke, it is, and you can see SJP2 popping that Phoenix Dinze. One of these runs here is okay, and you look at the meds, Mark, I feel like they're
doing fine
about that. We saw this the other day where working with 2 syringes and a dream. That is not going to be a good game plan. But another team here that we talked about earlier, it was match day 2 that I brought them up after a really strong performance on match day 1. It's Killer Whales. They've kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit. 18th, only 1 point, but rocking that bow check bow. And
risky to run a bow check in comp. You're just gonna run out of ammo. Respect it though. It's a good gun. Just before you know it, you'll be out of ammo. Oh, that's not good. That's it for them. There's no way.
Any of those characters, it's just very difficult to find those little angles away from.
One of them will get away.
Traffic of the bullets coming your way.
Yeah, the killer whales looking like an endangered species right now, if I'm honest, because they're down to just 1. It was
just chilling over here.
By the way, that they actually changed their composition from the ultra aggro comp to one with Newcastle in it for game number 2. So obviously they felt something was missing and didn't go right in that first game. Citadel Gaming, you can see, laying the trap. Not finding anyone at the moment. SJP2 though, got to be careful. They're getting in a little bit of a pinch here.
Oh man, he's trying to take the fallback. He canceled the fallback on him.
Not in a position where you've got cover, you can find yourself in trouble, but they're going to be able
there it is. He canceled his fallback. Watson's going to take fallback there.
In this situation, not only you're going to get a little bit of that.
Oh, they're looking to secure here. It's zone 2. I mean, they got a moment to look.
You're going to have a shield to protect you, but this is a tough spot. Citadel Gaming know that they've got
great damage. They got a grenade. That's a good ult. Nice. This is theirs. That's theirs. GG's. That's a cleanup. Easy.
The PK. That's going to be SJP2 out for the count. To Citadel Gaming rack up 3 more, and they clear their backside.
Look at this comp.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the center.
By the way, Alta, Seer, Maggie, and you've just seen why Maggie is so
honestly
good.
there's still a lot of space here if the teams that are playing late can find a spot to play edge. It's not the end of the world, especially to gain momentum and loot.
Easiest kill you will ever see in the ALGS. So I love what we're seeing from EMEA here. A couple of these teams really trying to mix up their compositions and not going with that familiar flow that we see.
Oh yeah, Ronin, my gosh, they're all over here. They're in a bad spot if they don't have kills or anything though.
The pack, but also the rise of these counter comps. We saw this with Shopify Rebellion
because there's not a lot of space. A team, like if you're playing edge like this, you essentially have to make a play. Oh wow, that's a bad fallback. They're about to run into them.
Will the Seer and Maggie disrupt a lot?
You have to bully your way into a building or something.
EMEA squads are bringing to the table. Typically, though, we see it be so.
There's nothing to scale or push forward when you got like 6 teams that are looking at you.
There are 0 Gibraltars in this lobby, which I'd say are pretty
sorry, that surprised me.
The way that EMEA and Americas went yesterday.
That one came up surprised me. I would say Alliance, just because they're a very consistent team.
We're expecting this zone to be pulling, and I think a lot of teams would be a lot more comfortable with where that zone is pulling. Ronin have managed to get the reset here. They've got MG Clutch back into the game, and they found themselves safe inside of this next zone as well, and they're trying to force the zipline mafia away.
Oh, nice.
And they're actually
that finisher.
Slash him down. MG Clutch got taken down, but now he's taking down players. Excuse, he's going to go down.
Very nice.
They will be credited.
Hey, Jonathan, good to see you.
Yeah,
we're doing a watch party today. We're vibing. It's nice. Got a good video up yesterday too.
Console here at Galleria. You can see there's attention towards a team that's already over there. And if they can find a pick, then that will be theirs.
It's a big rotation that needs to happen. Man, it's been a while since we've seen that exhibit, huh? On full display, and so is Arctic. On the wrong side of that, you know, Citadel Gaming is in the mix when the Seer shows up.
Oh, that sucks.
Feeling the hit of that. And you talked a little bit about this.
That's it. That's the downsides of taking fallback, assuming that nobody's going to be there.
Empire Gaming have to retreat, eliminated now by Cybercats, who hold
The other team doesn't know.
And now Citadel Gaming pushing onto them. What can the Mad Maggie do? It's not going to be too helpful to have that Rampart shield.
Cybercats just caught out, was not behind the wall.
Citadel Gaming flying.
Oh my god.
They got to slow down though because there's a lot going on around them.
Arches, man. It just exploded. It got pinged by 3 players at the same time. You just don't have a chance. Even on Wraith, couldn't hit the Q, couldn't do anything. Just annihilated. And again, you can see Citadel Gaming what their game plan is here. If they get
Everyone running G7s 30-30, it's such a great combo with R99 or
Also,
Peacekeeper.
I just think we forget, and a lot of this lobby, they haven't forgotten, but they're hoping that people don't remember what it feels like to get scanned, because you don't just sit where you are, especially in E-District when you're out of a building, when you're on rotation. You get scanned, you know that exposes you. You know that people are playing.
This team is far behind in terms of armor. There's a lot of people on purple right now.
You have to move, and in a way, that forces the enemy teams to make decisions they don't want to make. The pressure from Seer, yes, it is something that is active, but it's also something that's a bit passive. Just by the nature of him existing, it opens space up for Citadel Gaming. And I love the fact that they're just saying, we're going to play edge. We're not going to jump into the zone. We're a little bit late, and we're going to pick fights because no one's in a good
I have no
position.
idea how they're going to nerf the Peacekeeper. Every time they try to nerf it, either becomes completely unviable or it's the best gun in the game. That's it.
Slower than what we've got going on. I love it. As SPS also trying to get on the board, but they've lost one.
I think that wall was a little too early, but to use. I mean, he needed to pick up his teammate. Just pick him up.
Down to 2. Something to highlight here as well.
Like, I would have just went for the res, then put down the wall.
With the CQ. With these static compositions, a lot of it will be.
I am surprised the other team across the way, when they got the knock, they didn't shove them.
You get hit by the CQ, you get your hands tied. You can't get that.
Okay, like, honestly, the other team should be pushing right on top of them.
Evolves and presents itself. Tamuchi will go down here.
Yeah.
And SPS will go down. Zipline Mafia also.
I am surprised they hesitated on that, especially when they had the knock. And the guy didn't even res, he was just behind a wall. They didn't hear a res, so I'm surprised they didn't push on that.
Still alive here, still causing problems.
King Victor knows that they've got to do their best just to grab a little bit of KP. At this point, it's not on display, so he's got to run. Unfortunate. Should spell the end of Killer Whales unless we see a miracle. We'll kind of keep tabs on that in our top right corner and see if he goes
See where this
down to the
pulls.
ring or another kill there. But Ronan, another team.
North side, what is that pull, dude? That's crazy. That's unfortunate. Everyone in the building is going to get absolutely clustered right now.
Trying to stabilize yet again. FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan has God Spot again, pretty much. They have building. This is an open field right here. This is going to be a nightmare. Everyone running in, that is a nightmare, ladies and gentlemen.
Walking into the zone after that, Mark. So
all FaZe Clan has to do is just hold. They have to wait. This we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dude, this right here, right there, my God, that's going to suck. I mean, this wasn't a bad pull. This is what I would have done too, to be fair. This pull sucks. I would have seen that zone and been like, guys, this actually blows. This is the second time FaZe has gotten to like God Spot like that. There's no way they predicted that either. I would never have guessed that.
Very quickly as these thermites come in.
These teams have to dwindle each other out.
Everyone else, basically, apart from FaZe, is on the southern side.
Oh my God, is he gonna clutch this? No.
If I'm UAIM, I'm hoping that I can finish this off, but it's not going to be enough. And Calamity and Blooming Flower will hold that down. FaZe, Zane, they've got the benefit of the building, and they know that teams are going to be starting to move in.
Yeah, that south side is going to suck in a moment, man. It's going to be bad.
The G7. A little bit of action from Phoenix and Endorse again on your kill feed.
Having height here with Citadel is not bad at all either. They at least see a lot more. It's not going to be good once the zone closes, but
into the zone and kind of on the outskirts of the southern side.
See what they can do.
Over the top, you get a glimpse of what I'm talking about. The action here in 07 found a little corner. Tyler FPS. Say hello to
Unfortunate.
a grenade as 07 say 07 to the lobby.
I think 07 wanted to pick up Tyler just to give him a bit more fire.
Citadel's on a roll right now, man. That's crazy.
Spots at the moment. Citadel Gaming with this composition though are causing havoc in this.
Yeah, they got a lot of momentum, man.
Zuni, one of the most fun players to watch in the ALGS. If you haven't watched his POV, well, now you're going to get the opportunity to. He's not quite connecting yet, but he doesn't need to because his teammates are wiping the floor with NOMB. Nom are numb to the lobby.
Seer's actually doing some work right now, which I hate to see. Because Seer's very scary and oppressive. All they got to do is keep bullying their way in. FaZe Clan has to hold and wait for some mistakes. The other open field sucks. It's really bad. Yeah, Zuni's going crazy, dude.
It's just a composition that this lobby isn't prepared for. I'm surprised that we haven't seen teams adopt Seer and they've been resistant to it. I understand why, because if everyone's doing this, it's a completely different game. But my goodness, Citadel Gaming.
Nobody wants to see Seer in meta. Nobody wants to see it. It's scary, bro.
The team's been eliminated in the last few seconds. Take Flight, Onic, and Endorse have just gone. Roadhouse on their
Right, Reese.
Citadel Gaming continuing to take.
Dude, Citadel's just rolling through people, man. They're rolling them.
10 KP overall for Citadel Gaming.
Oh, come on. They got the only downside with this comp is they got no reset power. Good port just to get him out of that. That's very nice. They're going to get rolled up by FaZe, though. If FaZe takes too long on this, then they're going to lose their spot. But they're slowing down a big threat.
We got to put an end to it because sooner or later, the axe is going to turn towards our direction. Kaisha.
That's unfortunate. Citadel was on fire there. FaZe needs to go back to their spot and just wait for everything to play out. This was a good read on FaZe. That was crazy.
They're going to be happy about that, but FaZe Clan still in the commanding position.
They got commanding position and they stopped the team with the momentum.
You can see the zone here on your
they got it. Now the downside when the zone is closing is that they need to have space. Possibly, I don't even know, like the rock, the high ground. They just got to be careful on the south side.
They're sneaking in.
The bridge is not good. Oh, this is just going to be rough for them.
I want to talk about it very, very quickly because they have done what you need to do if you're holding a spot, and that is clear your side of zone. They have completely cleared the likes of Citadel, who were going to be their biggest threat.
No, they got to watch their south here in a second. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. They're moving up like this. This is great space. Oh, great wall here. This is great.
That's FaZe on a rampant run. 4 squads left. I'm excited to see how they manage this. Let's go ahead and listen in with FaZe and see how they handle this final zone.
They have to come. They have to come. Yes.
I still think FaZe has the biggest momentum here.
Oh, that's so annoying. Play hit, maybe.
A great head glitch right there, so they can see.
Yes. They don't have to jump. They don't have to jump. They're in on bridge.
Yeah,
They got 2 teams to bully through. This is hard.
Don't take a lot of damage.
Really bad. I'm not gonna lie.
They're going forward. They're going forward. We need to make them not do it. We need to make them not do it. Yes. Pick them.
We have no gun. We have no gun.
Oh god, they're getting bullied.
Play on me. Go on me.
Can't. Oh, I was about to say they can't go down. Can you port him? No, that's it. There's no way they're letting get that res off.
From FaZe, trying to apply pressure from a distance.
They're gonna try, but
for G7 Scout poking, prodding on that eastern side, saying do not come any closer. But the teams that they're talking about not going to be so easily persuaded. An Alliance, and of course Roadhouse and Roadhouse.
I would say this is a high potential for Alliance because they control a good portion of the map. But these teams, it just depends if they fight or not.
Find themselves postured against each other. Alliance, who somehow found their way from their POI to their god spot, now have all of the height to play with as well.
FaZe isn't out of it, but they're not looking good. These 2 teams are gonna. Okay, well they just did it. I was gonna say these 2 teams are about to. They just jumped on each other. I mean, that's the best play they got.
They are flying in on the low ground, and Roadhouse are taking damage.
That Maggie Q is going to be a daily.
This is Alliance's game. This is Alliance's game. They win this. FaZe in second. That's actually great. That's the best outcome they could have asked for.
And it leaves Alliance from the top ropes to come down and try to answer the call.
That was that's a great that's actually crazy. Because the other 2 teams just dogpiled on top of each other. FaZe came in and tried to get whatever kills they could.
We belong right in first place.
Fantastic job from Alliance. All based off of that zone pull. They had God spot and they converted.
Yeah, they had to. I was about to say something. They just jumped in and they really didn't have a choice.
It gave us great information on what their play was. It was, let's try and play for second here. We know that we're not in the best spot for this final zone with how the teams are positioned. So FaZe coming out of that with KP, second place.
Yeah, that's great.
Number one.
That's the best outcome FaZe could have asked for.
They're in the conversation as well there with a big win in game number 2.
Considering what they had to push through.
To look at a lobby and, you know, it's not actually so strange to see Alliance in a position where they're not leading out the gate. They are a team that sometimes has started slow, but we know they always end up with some of these major wins. This was a big win, and I think just getting them going was huge, especially before another game in Storm Point. But FaZe Clan, because of those choices that you so appropriately mentioned, Mark, sacrificing the overall status of first place for maybe a more efficient second place, they might have been able to stay at the top of the lobby. It's gonna be very close as we take a look at some of the head-to-head matchups. Alliance and FaZe really putting on a show here. FaZe mostly with 11 kills that game in match 2.
Yeah, that's a good round.
The game with more points than Alliance as well due to those.
That's why I said it's the best possible outcome because they had momentum.
They look like they have a very simple plan today.
Wow, look at them, first place.
Objective they have to achieve to get to Sapporo, and at the moment
they were gifted God spot in the first round.
20 kills in 2 games. That is phenomenal. Look at the rest of the lobby. 41 points overall. Shout out to Citadel though. That was a big game for them.
Is Roxel on Apex Legends? Yeah, I mean I've used it.
On that southern side where all the traffic was, so I think they'll be pretty happy.
It's not an immediate advantage. It's just like using different control. What is it, ALC settings? I don't play controller, but
this is the type of match
you're not going to get banned for using Roxel. Roxel is allowed in Valorant too. It doesn't give you any advantage. If anything, it probably sets you back initially unless you can master it. It's a skill set you have to master. That's why even Valorant lets it be. You can load a Valorant and use Roxel. It doesn't like. It's not intrusive into the system. It's just all it's doing is just changing like mouse settings or whatever.
Bro, I got Maggie ball, man.
That's why you don't see pros use mouse excel.
He just touched that. He's one touch.
I mean, I haven't used mouse excel in like 6 or 7 months.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I called the building.
So you're gonna watch the NA LGS? Well, I try to keep it around my normal stream time, so probably not. But if people leave comments and they say they want to see it, then maybe we can double up on something, sure. But I try to get like the last day. Like, isn't next week NA?
I got a team,
Because I mean, this is EMEA, and next week, sure. Yeah, 100%. Alder's getting it. Her pick rate was like 95% the last round. That was a great shot. Holy. Probably. I still could use it. I just tried using it without it recently. You make me want to go back and use it again. I mean, how many seasons did I hit Masters with mouse or raw Excel, man? It's crazy. The only streak that I broke was just this last split. Too busy with work, and then I got sick.
What? Behind the wall, pushing. Nice.
Yeah.
Close.
Nation, I'm glad you enjoyed the video.
Behind you, behind the wall. Behind you.
ALGS. The home of ALGS. The news of ALGS. The pick rate of it, the stats of ALGS. If I haven't said it yet. ALGS. Sorry.
Sony InZone, the official monitor of the Apex Legends Global Series.
InZone? What is that? The official monitor? What is InZone? I'm gonna Google that. What in the world is in-zone monitors? I'm sure they're like, the marketing is working. I've never heard of in-zone monitors. What am I missing? What is going on with the audio? What was that?
Conversation has to be. We are seeing the rise of the counter comp. I want to talk about
Are they Sony monitors?
They were running in game number 2.
Yeah, we are starting to see teams now.
Why don't they call them Sony monitors? Why do you have to call them in-zone? I have no idea what an in-zone is.
Those teams just kind of setting up, bolstering down.
Seems like a marketing misplay. Why don't you just call it Sony in the zone or Sony? I don't know. It seems like a because I would never have guessed that was Sony.
Which is something we've seen a lot of, especially in scrims. Wraith actually got banned at this point, but as we look back at some of the highlights, we can see you mentioned it. Most of our top teams were in this final circle. We were looking at the best of this region, all competing as the last 4 squads here.
We certainly were indeed, and Alliance getting into that position on the northern side being the benefit.
Alliance has so much space here just from the last round. They just have so much space.
That's a word, but it sounded posh enough that it might just be.
When you have somebody that controls the end game like that, it's so clear who's going to win. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see that happen, you know who's winning. And if they don't, then it's a throw.
They might be able to win the next one as well. But FaZe, we heard from the listening as well, where they were playing for second, and as Ronin went down, Synetic was left on his own. Alliance don't lose these. It's as simple as that. If Alliance lost this, I would do something that I won't do. I don't know. I couldn't think.
I guess so, but everyone, I guess it's kind of true. But in-zone monitors seems like bad marketing.
12 meatballs if they were presented in front of you.
Short list. To be fair,
oh God, you want to get in the zone? Then get to the end zone. Made by Sony. It's not. It's a monitor, by the way.
Will be bad. Now, interestingly, in
bye Alter.
Crypto was banned at this point. In APAC South, Watson was banned in game 2, so then Alter got banned in game 3. So we are seeing region to region like a lot of differences with this legend selection and what the preference tends to be. Whereas in EMEA, usually in scrims it has been Wraith, because with Alter going, Wraith then becomes the most popular legend to just give you that ability to
I guess that's fair
from point A to point B, and it looks like that is going to be evident here as well. So just like scrims,
I just had never heard of it before. I mean, Sony gaming monitors have always just kind of been Sony.
But what that does leave, Mark, is it leaves Newcastle up.
It does, but is Newcastle feeling, are players feeling as confident in Newcastle in their composition now that we're seeing the likes of
Alliance now has 2 walls, Rampart, Newcastle, and Wraith for rotation. They're essentially replacing Alter as the way in and out with Wraith, and they have their anchoring with Newcastle and Rampart. Pretty smart.
Because there's been a few times, I think last weekend I noticed, there was a few bans that caught a few teams off guard, and they were like, oh, okay, this has been banned early, or this hasn't been banned early. Now we have to play. It's
funny. Literally, all they're doing is trading one thing for another.
Legend bans, and I also think there's a few teams who are probably.
It's like playing Wraith is like playing the Walmart version of Alter.
One eye on the Pro League day, thinking this is what we think is going to be played. How can we play around that?
Yep.
And get more games with not just a comp, but also one that's going to maybe counteract what we're expecting to see.
And then it becomes 10 times more interesting when you get to international competition. As I was already mentioning,
in-zone, yeah, I'm just surprised I hadn't heard of it.
If you look back at last week, for example,
yeah, we got Alter at home. Wraith, very high pick rate. I'm surprised we're not seeing Ash.
Crypto game 3. APAC North,
well, I guess there's no way to really just like get in. You want to hold for end-zone.
Didn't ban crypto at all. So if you then take that to international competition,
Watson, very prevalent. Watson may get banned.
Suddenly, you can't really plan for it. And I know we have a bit of a gap between the end of Split 2 and Champ, so there is going to be a difference in terms of what the
interesting comp
look like. But that's still something that's very evident. Going from scrims in your own region to then scrimming in international competition, trying to plan around legend bans is near impossible.
Oh, end zone. Let's take a look.
Different regions seem to have a very different playstyle.
Last time I pulled up here, it's not going to end here. It's not going to end here. It's not going to end here.
And you can see 07 moving
this area right here. Last time I pulled north, which I was like, wow, that sucks. I'm going to guess that it's going to pull the south this time around.
But we did see a little bit of a funky pull that time. It's going to be interesting to see if it does go a little bit more traditional here in comparison to what we saw on game number 1.
That's funny. I was saying the same thing
westerly, I would
with
say,
the caster. I was literally saying like, we'll just pull to the main spot.
So 07, not second guessing their position they want to play based upon what happened in game 1.
That would be such a difficult zone to call, by the way, if you didn't have ring console. If I looked at that, I'd be thinking I'm heading more west.
That's a Wraith ban? I guess I wasn't looking at the amount of Wraith.
The guessing game where you have to just guess off zone.
I mean, Wraith is like, if
console,
Ash, Alter, and a lot of these other legends didn't exist, Wraith would be amazing for rotation.
Read just off face value, and that's why we're seeing actually, I think 3 teams on the western side of this map at the moment, all kind of transitioning towards a ring console to see if they can get that info.
It's interesting as well because I imagine a lot of teams who are rotating.
Meaning Wraith is kind of the sleeper pick.
Okay, guys, we'll hit console here, then we'll plan. And
good damage.
There's going to be a lot of teams already there.
Trying to hit that ring console? Was that the goal here?
We're not as comfortable as we thought, and you can get picked off very, very easily. Thinking that you've got.
It's because of the bans, because Alter's not in play, so Wraith is a great legend for rotation, and to get in to get out.
Or how they plan to hit one of those consoles, like you say.
Yeah, I mean, full SJP2 and SPS are all west over to.
It is interesting not to see as much Ash. I guess I'm a little surprised in that.
They were kind of doing the same thing, looking to see if they could get info, but also probably playing off initial thoughts of, yeah, this is probably moving a little bit further west. Now Onyx are going to get a big chunk with the PK, and sadly, King.
You see how the port's there for them to get out too immediately?
9 bongo.
Ooh. Oh my god. Oh, that's so close. That was so close.
Zidane made it interesting, but he was never going to lose that one.
It's a placeholder for the G7 Scout.
3 games in a row where, unfortunately, they have just been kind of.
Ideally, you're going to see Scout 30-30 Peacekeeper R99.
Able to have the impact that they would have wanted to.
Somebody's a demon with the RE45. RE45 is not good until you get the purple mag.
At the moment is SPS who are on the other side of this. Lots of S's involved in this fight, Dan.
Yeah, these are the same teams that were up towards Blossom Drive. They've been transitioning south at the same time. Both of them went to the ring console. I don't think either of them actually got the info they wanted because FUL were already there as well. So now we're just getting this scuffle on the left-hand side that isn't comfortable for anyone. None of them have info. None of them got the ring console that they wanted. So now they're kind of just fighting and posturing up against each other and wasting time, essentially, because all the other teams that do have ring console are going to be able to get so far east over towards the middle of the map that these teams are not going to be able to get into a good spot at all.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a rough one. You can see now.
Well,
one team
I mean, they could be just playing for KP because they're behind. They need kills. They just can't get placement. Placement's not going to be enough. They got to get some eliminations on the board.
Well, they disengaged.
Some of these teams, as the day keeps progressing, are just going to start brute forcing and fighting. They know if they get a kill that somebody isn't going to ultra port back, so this is the best time to really do it.
FUL for a little bit of time, and they don't try and rotate, then maybe SPS are going to think maybe Zone is coming here.
Yeah, I think FUL hit that ring console and suddenly they turn into FML.
I don't think the casters realize that, but like, if there's not as many alters people, at least if you get a knock, you might be able to have a higher chance to secure.
Cybercat's hearing this gunfire and also
and some teams are going to start to play a little bit more desperate because even if you get first place and you have barely any kills, it's still not enough. You need both if they're going to play some catch up.
For games 1 and 2 and been able to convert it into a first and second place respectively. So that's second place as well. Not just a second place, he got the most points in the lobby due to the huge amount of KP that they have taken home. 41 points, Dan, after 2 games. It is the perfect start for FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe has gotten really lucky.
This from FaZe in scrims. Like, I often will post the results of scrims to you of just where these teams are landing, and I've seen FaZe number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2, and
oh yeah, Wraith. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was gonna be Watson, but there's a lot of Wraith. Holy!
Just through points that they have to be winning Pro League or regional finals, and I think they're setting themselves up nicely because even if they're not going to win Pro League, let's say they don't catch up the likes of Go Next and Alliance. Going into regional finals, when you look at how FaZe are performing, you genuinely would believe they have a chance.
Let's see if this pulls a traditional South. It's got a little bit more here, but I'm guessing maybe there.
It's just putting themselves in the position to potentially win it.
You got a lot more teams kind of playing in the outskirts here, trying to get some kills. Team late, third here. These teams are probably going to try to battle it out, end up over here.
To go on and win Pro League.
Alliance is just hard gating right here. They got nothing to worry about.
Opening up of a spot if you don't quite manage to get it done in.
The FaZe Clan is also playing a bit edge.
All of these things add up. All these permutations are very
07 and the center building right there. It's not bad.
Is like who's in form heading towards that regional finals in a couple of
Need a few more zones to see.
A hell of a day of action in the ALGS with Sapporo qualification on the line. Onyx, though, they're going to have to retreat for now. They're outside of zone, just outside of draft point at the moment. They've got Nom behind them. They've got SJP2 have now moved from that western position, probably, again, looking for that ring console to find out where this next zone is going to be going because they don't have that information at the moment. But where the zone is going down is towards the southwest here.
They don't have to fight, but it looks like they're the teams that are outside of the zone right now look to be trying to engage for points.
After the conflict on the western front, now they have to move a little bit further down to the south side. And they're the first team to run Pathfinder in this lobby as well. They're the only Pathfinder, may I add, in this lobby. We'll see whether that can help them transition from point A to point B here, because zipline can be very important here on E-District in certain zones. Sometimes
you know, that is an interesting point. We see Wraith, but we're not seeing as much Pathfinder.
That's the funny thing about Apex Legends, is there are niche situations where you're like, oh, I wish I had this legend, or I wish I had that legend, or I can't believe they had that legend here.
Yeah, well, thank God we've got this legend.
Yeah. And then you go into the next game and you're like, all right, okay, we should have played this legend, let's play it now. And then suddenly that niche situation doesn't
Wraith
arise.
port, I wonder if they're looking to engage over there.
Be on something that is going to provide the most situations possible, rather than just that one niche scenario.
Of course, Pathfinder's
it's nice to see the pros actually improving their Watson fences, though.
I'll give you a little bit of extra information. FUL, though, have moved through the wind tunnel. They're having to hold out a team at their back at the moment. Really good position to actually hold for the longer game here, if they can hold this. Is probably one of the easier chokes to hold. You can see the advantages they have with height.
Yeah, they're looking good here.
They can get a gen down as well. Probably just waiting to put that gen down at the moment, Kuro, just based upon trying to get a read of what composition is coming their way. If there's a Maggie or...
I'm sure they're waiting on gen so they can upgrade it, if that's the plan.
They get that gen down so they can get the most efficient usage of it before, instead of it just being destroyed by that EMP. So pretty strong position for...
I'm not really sure I follow the logic there, because they don't know... There's not cryptos in this lobby. There's not many cryptos. They're not necessarily afraid of, like, a crypto pop. I would say they're holding gen just to make sure they can use it for the next rotation, or if he's going to upgrade his armor. I didn't see his armor, though.
Exhibit of the game. Oh, and I tell you what, it follows up with some pretty impressive PK shots as well.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Alonzi, though, is not going to be able to fire his gun again. Ranches and PKMK going to be the last two on their feet at the moment. Alonzi's going to be res, though, and he'll be back onto his feet. SJP2 taking this fight inside of the building, and they're going to get a big chunk here. It's going to be Denze, who actually finds two on the...
That's actually pretty... No knocks, or they didn't lose anybody. That's clean.
Bomb in that fight. That's going to be a straight win for them.
Yeah, they didn't even get the chance to utilize a Wraith portal there to get into zone.
Ooh, what's up?
For SJP2, they might be having to fight tooth and nail to stay alive here.
They got better armors, though.
Again, this is a fight that was happening over on the western side of the map, and now they're fighting yet again. But actually, it could be a good distraction. They're trying to hold here, so the mythic bin can be picked up.
Yeah, FUL have the positional advantage. The problem is they don't have an armor advantage. You can see they're all...
Oh, there they go. They got their armor advantage.
They're to purples, though, at the purple time as that mythic bin does get popped, and now this fight becomes heavily in the favor of FUL. Funny how these things can change on a dime.
And they do just retreat, mainly just to get the rewards from said mythic bin as well. Gold PK, etc. Take Flight do get eliminated in the meanwhile. Looks
Didn't
like
realize he
FaZe were able to
unretired.
take them down on their journey. So FaZe continuing to dominate.
Reach semis, you must come back. See your meta.
And we might get a similar situation where FaZe arrive from the north and they're pretty comfortable towards the late game yet again here.
He's looking a lot busier, though, on that northern side than it is on the southern. SJP2, they're going to hit the survey beacon now, so they'll see the lay of the land and how they want to play.
Did your game stop crashing? Did you figure that out?
At the moment,
look, it's pulling where we... It pulled more to the south side. There you go. Did do it.
He's on that northeastern side and the north, so you're looking at FaZe's position here. It's a tough one.
07 has like the best possible spot there.
To get into a good game-winning
as long as somebody just doesn't rush into their building for no reason.
And let me tell you, in this man's hand, it makes the path a lot more comfortable if he can hit a couple of shots.
FaZe did just get a knock onto Cybercats, so that pushed them away, which means that FaZe might have a straight 3v3 against Roadhouse, who just respawned. I think Blast just got respawned for Roadhouse, so FaZe might have the advantage there. Just the respawner not going to have as many tools, perhaps, in his arsenal. But yeah, Alliance holding that western side is definitely going to make things awkward for those teams, especially with the zone transitioning south. You've got the likes of Onyx and 07 are going to be a spot. Now SJP2 pushing up.
Yeah, this is an all-in fight.
They have this.
This is the first shot, and it's going to cost him. Kuro on the Watson.
Oh my gosh, the Wraith overextended there. Fine, it worked out. That zone's going to hurt, though. No, that's crazy.
And he'll be able to drag his teammates back onto their feet. So
a little messier than it should have been.
All in on that push, not going to be able to make it work.
Cybercats off the respawn.
Not sure if that just deleted all the other walls.
Well, seeing this as a potential chance to re-loot and also take a good position away from the
Dude,
team that was
Empire is
struggling
just
coming through that fast.
hard holding
But
inside
Empire
here.
Gaming,
That's
all the meanwhile,
crazy.
they were holding this spot, and they're going to be able to sit quite pretty with the base.
Like, this is the point where you are hunkered in here, and I don't even know if this is a benefit, that even if they got a knock and they're trying to leave, oh, that's done. That's it. Everything's gone there. Ooh, okay. They held the tactical there just in time for that. That's actually crazy. No, this corner's horrible, bro.
Next rotate might be pretty rough for them. You can see the portal is going out to try and find a way towards zone as we see Kuro in the feed once again with the 30-30 get a knock.
That corner sucked. They bought a lot of time though.
Gonna have to go back. And yeah, I don't think they are safe. They will be very much burned by the ring. Now, I was saying Roadhouse had lost one, and they got the respawn, and FaZe might be able to take that fight. Well, FaZe have taken the fight to them, but it looks like with Synetic going down, they are reconsidering and looking to try and just bypass them via the Wraith here, but with both going down,
not enough.
That Wraith portal is not going to help.
And if anyone can jump into the port, doesn't look like it. It looks like they're going to be finished off here. So Roadhouse will get the better of FaZe in that situation. Zane is going to have to try and rat to some points to add to the KP as Hackis was involved in that little scuffle with his Kraber, which is still in his hands. But Overflow as well by the looks of things, which is going to get him back up to health extremely quickly to be involved in those fights. And Alliance now just looking to hold out this north zone. North side of zone, excuse me, before they walk in towards the safety where that zone is going to be pulling.
Yeah, Alliance will now look towards Roadhouse. Skynade versus Skynade. Hackers avoids his.
Alliance looking a hard gate here.
So instead, it's just going to be an outright gunfight. But I know which gun I would rather have in my hands, that's for sure. But it looks like Alliance might be distracted here because there's teams joining them, and Roadhouse, they do the dipsy-doo.
Bro, that sucks to the Peacekeeper. I mean, it would be ideal to have a spray weapon in that moment, but the Peacekeeper is so strong.
You could be so dominant, and when you add Overflow as an amp to your Wraith player as well, it means the ability to heal over time and get back into the fight is just so drastically reduced. And now Alliance, as Roadhouse are eliminated thanks to Hackis with that Kraber.
Dude, this team is still hunkered up in here.
Of the northern side of this zone. Ronin though taking damage, Nate left on his own.
Yeah, so many teams having a do or die moment here, and Nate.
There's no way, like Empire. This is gonna be crazy. It's possible. They are walled up in there like no other.
Fighting over these Newcastle walls and rampart barricades.
Oh my god.
The last one, UAIM do go down, and it is an incredible hold from the Newcastle wall. But now there's another team pushing.
Yeah, it's a Citadel gaming.
My god. Empire was like, that was the biggest wall I've ever seen.
The only full shielded player and the only player.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy that Empire just held into that log.
Still alive. Finally go down.
That's crazy.
Jesus, I mean, Endorse just held off 3 teams again, showing the strength of the Newcastle plus Rampart when you get.
Oh, it was Endorse? I thought it was Empire. That's my bad. Sorry.
And being the last of the party there, now they will have the majority of this eastern side. Zipline Mafia are going to
God, what a hold there.
Rat from FaZe still alive on this side as well, but does look like Zane might have.
They said it was Endorse. I didn't even realize who it was. It was just a cluster.
Can jump into portals, can portal hop a little bit. Waiting for that Q is going to give you a few seconds extra.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Bad call on my part. It just was a cluster in there.
Finally, Effect's going to get what we can say is a bit of retribution for his teammate, and FaZe will be eliminated. But Zane did pretty much everything he could in that situation. 07 now trying to move up onto Zipline Mafia.
Killing Hackis and having Effect and Unlucky Alive is like John Wick's dog going down. The boys are straight in and said, no, buddy, you ain't going to be able to take him down for free. And Alliance will be back up to a full 3, and they will.
Oh, we almost one left in there. Nice.
Now the big fight that's going to happen is 07 versus Zipline Mafia here, because 07 have to push in still.
Well, 07 moved here early. They had one of the best spots in zone. They had a great ring.
Yeah, FaZe went down a bit ago. Well, they only had one.
Available, but Kishera has gone down. It's a 2v1. As we choose.
This end zone's kind of rough because it's a lot out in the open. It's gonna be a lot of brawling.
They're looking to move in now to find a few KP themselves, but they're getting flanked. They've got to be careful here. Onyx moving behind them.
Good wall.
Yeah, Onyx have joined into this one, and you can see Alliance.
Dude, the Rampart Newcastle combination is crazy.
Well, and they have gone full defense mode here as they try and survive.
Yeah, they're just pinched here.
Oh my god. Look at that. He's
knockdown shield does manage to get Hackers back up, but only
the fact that they bought that much time.
Alliance will be eliminated as Empire Gaming, the solo goes down as well. So Onyx having a good game here, but here comes the wrap now from 07.
07 have spread themselves out so much here. They have taken almost the majority of the zone just by spreading everyone from north to south. And actually, 07 in a pretty good position for this game. Now, the zone is going to be transitioning a little bit further west, away from them.
After this, we'll be on World's Edge for
three
three rounds.
each other. It just means that 07 can kind of watch on. And depending on what abilities they have available to them, bear in mind they do have the crypto, so that EMP.
Yeah, no kidding. The turtle strat is real. It's crazy.
Getting rid of some of these Watson fences. This could be an 07 win.
Yeah, eyes on Tyler here as well.
You said 07? I don't know if I would bank on 07. I mean, I guess so because they have a little more space. I would say whichever team has the height here, but I know that there's two teams on the height.
To their position. Well, Tyler could be a difference maker for them.
Would you agree with that with 07? I'm not really sure if I would say 07 for this.
KP to their name. And Zidane now looking for a portal to find them.
Dude, look at Watson in the corner.
Zidane does go down. And Onyx will take this fight. And this is just perfect for 07, by the way, because all these teams on the west are fighting. I think Onyx is going to be the biggest threat because now FUL kind of move towards that final wrap. And Onyx can position themselves in a
Yeah, I mean, they're
really
right there with the
zone.
pull. I guess it just depends if these two teams on height fight.
Most of the space you can see on that map overhead completely, like you say, Dan.
Dude, Rampart is just shredding the walls.
Spray out this Newcastle wall with a Sheila. And FUL might be thinking about, hey, can we just try and send it onto 07 here?
That's got to be fun to do.
Which opens the door for Onyx.
Yeah, I think FUL can really change how this game goes. Whoever they decide to fight, if they push one of these teams,
Yeah,
might just win it for the other.
if Onyx is able to get a clean fight here, 07 coming in. 07, if they overcommit to this, that's a bit of a throw. They actually got some great peeks here. But this could turn on them because the Peacekeeper could literally spin at any one moment here. Dude, he's got so much damage here. Nah, they got that. Yeah.
Zidane's gone down, and 07 will clean this one up after
They had great peaks there.
Impressive match 3. Not only did they play it perfectly.
I'll be honest, I wasn't hedging my bets against 07. I guess I was thinking that the height was going to have a cleaner fight.
Just making sure he got into different spaces to take different angles to be aggressive at the right time. And it just, as you said, opened the door for 07.
Yeah, very, very impressive stuff.
I think their peaks there, they could have easily turned against them if they made a mistake there, though. Like, it was very risky.
They good prio, they get a good position. But the most important thing for me is they add KP to a win. It's a game where we're looking at it. And 07, maybe a few weeks ago, if they win a game, you got 3 or 4 KP. This time it's 7. And Tyler is...
I can't believe Newcastle are part of working. They've been better before. I mean, ALGS is just like... Let me tell you, when you have end zones in the middle of nowhere on Storm Point, Newcastle's where it's at.
But impressive stuff all around from those two.
And again, it's a similar situation for 07. You know, they kind of need to be in the upper side of Pro League, potentially even winning it, if not winning regional finals, if they want to make it to champs. So this change for Tyler is their Hail Mary. This is their final attempt at trying to make it to Sapporo. And with games like that, again, just like FaZe Clan, they are another team that when we get to regional finals, providing that both teams qualify for regional finals, they could be those teams that just have that final moment to get through and qualify for champs. But FaZe Clan will still hold on to first position at the moment throughout this series after E-District before we move on to World's Edge. But with those points, 07 do send themselves up into the top 6.
Not bad.
Very impressive stuff here. Rain, join us, please, as we see our third winner of the day here, 07, returning to the fore. And if you would say FaZe Alliance 07, you know you've got some good Apex being played.
Yeah, that's right. This EMEA block is not disappointed. I've really enjoyed watching 07 come together. I think you hit the nail on the head with Tyler. He is that guy that they've been hoping to give them that spark into the next level. And certainly that's a great sign of things to come. Also, just to be aware, when you consider FaZe Clan keeping that lead, Alliance had a chance to jump up and try to close the gap, but they both tied with 8 points in that final game on E-District, which says two things. FaZe is still coming to play. Alliance still there and present, but also that third game a little bit wonky for two of our top teams, which tends to happen before we switch maps. So really interested in how they're going to tackle Storm Point. Expect to see some map changes coming up very soon, and obviously some legend changes to go with that. But guys, it's halftime, which means that we have to take a little bit of a break and catch everybody up, not just on the action that's happened here, but all across the ALGS. That's why we introduce this segment, what you might have missed. If you caught up with us yesterday for this segment, we brought you the information from our previous match days in APAC South. And now it's time to talk about APAC North, guys, to let people know what's been happening on the other side of APAC. Let's get it going here with Unlimited starting off hot for that APAC North double header. It was a win in map 2 on match day 6. Yalarman, he led that lobby, getting 23 kills of the team's 36. That is a massive day, but just to compare what we saw in APAC South with Asia, 34 kills in a single match day. So APAC bringing in some incredible kills here. The tie went into map 6.
I really find it interesting how different APAC plays compared to NA.
Behind Unlimited. So tie.
Same thing can be seen in League of Legends. I know the meta at times can be very different from APAC to NA.
Second in the first match of the doubleheader.
I'm guessing Wraith as well, because somebody had mentioned she was 16 out of the 20 teams present. I guess the question is, are they going to pick Ashe or are they going to pick Pathfinder for mobility?
15 and collecting only 5 standings points and being overtaken by Unlimited. So really, it was all Unlimited. But Dan, talk to us about match day 7.
Well, match day 7 was dominated by Soten. They cleared the pack with 95 points and 65 kills, averaging nearly 3,500 damage a map, and they cut their way through the field with 3 map victories. Like an insane performance from them. We did see DI fight hard for their second place finish, though. They had a huge effort from 768. He netted 14 kills, 10 revives to keep the squad in the fight. So a very impressive performance from them as well. And, you know, we've seen this quite a lot with DI and Soten.
You know, World Set's going to be really interesting considering most of the mobility legends or like rotational legends are gone. I'd have to imagine Pathfinder's going to spike up and pick rate for this next round.
As I said, the bans have been a little bit different over in APAC North with, for example, Crypto going in game 3 and just being able to see Newcastle survive so often. But APAC North, it heads into its penultimate match day on October 4th. So make sure you guys tune in to catch the final action from Group A and enter Force 36. We'll see them in action once again. They are seeking to bounce back from a bad weekend and maybe over.
If you guys enjoy the stream, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know if you like the LGS watch parties and the vibes.
I can't wait to see what
this is the first one I've done in a like, God, I think I feel like it's been a year or so.
A surprise package through.
Let me know what you guys think. It's a vibe. It's nice. Hanging out, watching some Apex. I haven't got a chance to watch Apex in a hot minute like this.
Towards the end, of course, but
it's rare.
They're much more willing to experiment in certain ways. Certain characters that we see trickle over here in the Americas.
In your opinion, Daz, what situation would having height not be a favorable position?
Weapons that we saw. I remember when
height is not favorable if the zone isn't ending in that area, or if you have to jump onto another team and you're sharing that space. Then it's not advantageous.
That's the beauty.
Or if you have height and a team is cracking you and you back up slightly from the height, then you lose your spot really, because then the team is free to walk up and scale. You know, just like they're just gonna run right on top of you. So there's those three positions, but they're all dependent on. 2 of them are dependent on zone, and 1 depends if you just can't maintain pressure.
Make it to every single one. For those who are trying to make it into this mix, though,
yeah, I'll cover the Americas. When is that scheduled?
Players aren't that good. If that's you, I'm surprised. I mean, honestly, that's a pretty high level thought of yourself. But if you do think that way,
should do more. It's fun. I'm down.
And that means that you should register for the Challenger Circuit. Put your money where your mouth is. It closes October 1st, so you only have a few more days before we kick off the spookiest month of the year. And of course, that plays on October.
We'll also do
4th
like
through
actual streams where we're hanging out and vibing. I just figured, you know,
go ahead, register.
You know
for the
this.
Challenger Circuit.
I should be in about 3 hours. This evening, I don't think I'll be free. I have a few things I'm working on.
Really cool thing.
This kind of fit just perfectly from the normal time slot. I moved Saturday stream to Sunday just to get the last day.
For Sapporo, we have the ALGS split
In the future, if people want more NA rather than EMEA, sure, I'll cover NA.
Split 2. But after that,
maybe I'll do a
poll.
I'll do a poll and ask people.
Lead into kicking off December.
I'll ask, do people like ALGS, yes or no? And then I'll have people like vote subsequently on
I think we
which
might
region
have
to cover.
tape for it. So take a look. If you haven't seen it before, it's something you don't want to miss.
Hey, New York. Is it New York? No, that was Japan.
We've taken over the Godfrey Hotel. It's different, it's unique, it's nothing you've ever experienced before.
The room was pretty sick. I hope all the competitors sleep well after we kick her.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's rock it. Are you kidding?
Everybody's dying the zone. Crook goes down to Timmy and Hal.
What event is this?
It's
Red Bull?
Timmy's Legendary Lather, the soap that brings champions to life.
Oh my God.
No. Live in the Godfrey Hotel.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I'll have to choose one or the other because 6 hours in a day. And these are my days off, so I'm trying to like balance it out, you know. Oh, Chicago. Okay.
From check-in to champion, Chicago.
From check-in from championships, welcome to Chicago. Chicago, one of the hottest places for Apex Legends that you would never would have seen.
That was a lot going on for me.
And I could, you know, I'll put on the capture voice.
In Chicago, Illinois, to the Godfrey Hotel, where 19 teams will compete live in an Apex Legends Duos tournament for a $25,000 prize pool. If you think you and your duo have what it takes to compete against Apex Pros, signups are now open at battlefy.com/Red Bull Legends In to compete in the online qualifiers on October 25th and 26th, where 2 duos will win the opportunity to compete live in person at the Godfrey Hotel, Chicago. Man, must be 18 plus to register. More info can be found at redbull.com/Legends In. That is really exciting, guys. Honestly, before we let you go, Mark, any chance you might be trying to find a duo? I mean, I could see you and Vicky maybe going at it.
Yeah, him and Vicky. That sounds like a great duo.
I have to be very careful with how I answer that question, depending.
Right now I'd be voting for Alliance.
I play ranked with currently,
mostly because that's who I remember casting over, and it's mostly. I know that Hawkus and Effect are still there. I almost want to swear it's the same 3 people. Like their team is so consistent, man.
He did it.
It's so rare in Apex to see the same roster stick together.
Listen,
especially for Lions to hold
Mark
on to them
think
for
about
so
it, too,
long.
that. I'd love to see somebody I know competing in that. What a fun opportunity it would be. Might even get me, thinking about Chicago. I don't know, guys. I'm definitely going to be tuning in. Hopefully you are as well. Remember, on the December 5th show day, it's going to be a blast. And sign up and get your chance to play. Mark, we're going to send you on a little bit of a break. Enjoy, and we will catch up with you in just a little bit. Dan, I think we have some maps to break down. I know we have a couple of looks at now new POIs. It's World's Edge that we're going into. And I think that's going to change things a little bit. We didn't get to see World's Edge yesterday from a match day perspective. So for those fans who've been watching across both days.
All right, let's see where people are landing.
Refreshing.
Alliance Skyhook East. That's it makes sense. That's what they've usually done.
Map, makes me just feel at home.
Yeah, you can see how many.
Yeah, the fact that it's been so many, like honestly, I think they've been together for like 3+ years at this point. I want to say 3 years. That's so rare for any team to stick together that long. Good on them for being so consistent.
As well, so that's why we've seen so many teams. I mean,
I'd root for that. That shows a lot of character in their squad.
Like everyone knows. Yeah, you have to really pick these big.
Heck, I mean, TSM was together for a long time, and then when
there might be a few teams kicking themselves a little bit.
Can't last forever, right?
Maybe didn't capitalize on the POIs that they did have, but now you have to change it all over here for World's Edge, and this also
Game
can
4
shift the conversation a little bit towards legend selection as well, because we do see different.
I'm curious what people are
going
to pick for rotation.
When it does come to World's Edge and the chance for maybe new things to shine, but we still do have Newcastle hasn't been banned yet. So we're going to still see a lot of Newcastle. And we have seen in Americas, this is when Newcastle usually gets banned. But not the same can be said for EMEA. Sometimes it can stay alive at this point, and we often see Watson banned at this stage.
Yeah. Well, Watson's fantastic in general. I think she's even better on World's Edge. One of the things that her character does, and it makes it difficult to balance characters like this when their kit is just what you need to do in general. To
Wraith band. All right, let's see what we have for rotation.
Make sure nobody takes your space and give you room to take other space, and that's exactly what
World's Edge is such an interesting match for that too.
Buildings when you have zones that end in.
If you don't have rotation, Gibby could be a pick that spikes because you're like this isn't like E-District where you have a lot of cover.
Was the map that most people were playing on. Many of the maps
don't have as much space.
Even exist. So I think
Valk? That's possible. I mean, that's something I didn't really consider.
So you might see more a shift that way. I'm curious though, Dan, to see, do we see more of a counter composition brought up here in World's Edge? People will be.
All right, let's see. I'm so curious on the pick rate, or like what we're gonna see.
Maybe Newcastle, maybe Gibraltar, but will that also encourage teams like Citadel, which we've already seen, to lean heavier into things like Sears or other teams to pick up Maggies to try to go ahead?
Ash.
Yeah,
Ash, Crypto, Watson. I assume Watson's going to get banned.
Mark's been big on as well. It's just that how impactful these compositions can be, mainly when Newcastle's been banned, to be honest, because Newcastle is still a little bit tricky to deal with.
I don't think Newcastle's going to get banned. I think we're going to see a bit more variety. Ash seems to be the pick.
Even with the tools to try and take him down, even with a shield
I want to see the zone
to try and take down the shield, Newcastle is just still so good, especially when you get an accelerator on board and someone is still going to be popping shield after shield, dropping Newcastle wall left, right, and center. But we're on the way. We are into match 4, and obviously that means that we've got another selection of bans as well, as I just go across and see if I can get that up on my screen, which I can.
There you go.
Yep. Okay. So
thermal station, take height. That's the winning spot.
Going to be taken away here. That is a bit of a surprise for me.
Yeah.
14 Ashes, 10 Watsons, 10 Newcastle. So obviously with Wraith disappearing in match 3, you're always going to have a little bit more Ash coming into
13?
the equation, but maybe not that much I was expecting.
14, I'm gonna miss one. Newcastle,
again,
1, 2, 3.
I think E-District,
5, 6,
and
7.
you know, your thoughts too. I want to hear. It just feels like those are the places you.
Ash seems to be the one.
If you don't have the extreme mobility that Ash can provide, or that Alter, or
this is whoever gets the center here of thermal. This is the game-winning spot.
This is one of the
this building up here, Civil Circle. This isn't bad here. Circle center here, yes.
Be so caught out because the spots.
I'm not gonna pull the south here. Don't want to be over here too open. Maybe the height here
on this map,
and then maybe the edge over here.
So I'm very curious to see how this Ash plays out for all of these teams. Also very surprised that yet again there has not been a single Gibraltar picked up. Again,
I was surprised Gibraltar not picked for this too. I had mentioned it because it's great for holding.
They want to play this right now, and they're
if Newcastle goes,
I think
then I'm pretty sure people would pick Gibby.
Dead set on Watson either. I think that this, because we've seen a fair bit of crypto, some people are kind of leading away from Watson, and this is what the legend bans is all about: is people trying to work out how they can avoid the bans and keep a legend for longer. And because we've got Rampart and Watson splitting up, it means that it allows Ash.
That's unfortunate. That's an early kill. Guy caught out of position.
Already been able to take a fight. You can see that. Already a kill going in their favor, Feuda going down, and early scraps happening. As the zone is going to be transitioning to the southwest side of the map, we are going to see a lot of people committing very fast down towards it.
Yeah, this is going to be
too much of Maggie, but there's not been a lot of Maggie.
Up top, Citadel Gaming and Alliance.
Because World's Edge has a lot of height, same with E-District, you're not going to see a lot of Maggie. Not saying she's not impossible to play, it just depends on the squad.
Try to mirror each other and grab themselves a spot in the zone a little earlier. On the other side, Nam near Mirage Etoile takes that Ash portal all the way down from that area for a little bit of safety and trying to bridge the gap into the next area of the zone. As FaZe Clan, you see them also moving in. A little bit of a skirmish happening with SPS. A lot of teams getting into it early here, Dan.
Well, I mean, honestly, we're going to see teams get into it early, though. That's just how it works when people start getting desperate for points.
Just to try and make your rotation, but then once that has happened, you don't necessarily look.
Game 3, if you've got no momentum now, you got to start throwing some Hail Marys to figure it out.
Sure, you could be looking to engage as well, but I think most of these teams are going to look to try and actually find a position that they can hold in this late game. It's very difficult to play edge.
Oh, they have no idea they're on the height. Oh, that's no way he doesn't finish that. Oh, come on. He strikes so hard to jump over that. Oh my gosh, that sucks. And they got him anyways. Nice. That was a crazy angle there.
Really nice surprise hold. SPS didn't know what they were going into. They actually thought they were stopping a fight. They ran right into one.
Yeah, that's
and
unfortunate.
FaZe picks up even more KP with 51 points starting the 4th game.
God, they got a lot of momentum, dude. From the first game, they've been killing it.
Especially considering they're playing Sparrow and they weren't able to get any sort of info. Maybe you look towards your Sparrow player there and you're like, well, I mean, why didn't you chuck a dart up to like 20 feet up in the air and maybe see if you can get info for us? But yeah, that's a tough one. And FaZe, I'm sure they'll be giggling to themselves about that one.
Well, it's just something to put in the back pocket. Like, hey, when we pass this choke, people are going to hide up there. Throw a dart, make sure no one's hiding. Those are the little things that somebody who doesn't have to worry about the big picture things.
This spot by Killer Wells, they have this as a really powerful spot.
Getting involved, SPS,
Oddly, I don't think it's going to pull here anymore. I think it's going to pull more towards the to the right.
Trying to just get some points on the board.
I think the zone is pulling away. It's still a great spot to hold, but not going to be in the long run.
Adds to the difficulty of solving those little problems because some things like that slip your mind as we head over with Ronin trying to break some doors here on the G7 Scout. Throw a couple of tethers from McGlutch. Nate on the Maggie, which we've seen used to I think quite a decent amount of success overall on the day. I haven't seen any.
I need to see the zone again to see where I think it's going to pull, because it's not pulling thermal. Thermal was a great spot to hold initially. After this next zone, the zone after, it's going to be rough to hold thermal at the top of it. But it is a great spot to buy you some time for now.
And again, a good sign that teams are willing to experiment, even if it's not throwing everything out. It's adding a few little pieces.
Yeah, well, if they loot enough and it ends there, then you're in a really great spot.
A few Maggies come into the fray, but that's mainly because, as you mentioned,
but now that it's pulling away, it's going to become like much more difficult.
Not as important, but still does play a vital part and can be very important for those teams that want to play a little bit more aggressive. Sadly, for the likes of Killer Whales, who have been playing Maggie all day, they've just found themselves at the top of thermal, and that's not really where you want to be with that kind of composition. You want to be looking to try and take fights in and around thermal station rather than on top of it. But we'll see whether they can still make it work from the position they found themselves in. As now you've got all these teams that are on the southeast side, kind of.
That's what you're seeing run. Okay. Actually, no, it actually is pulling towards them. Yeah, it's going to be bad as long as they're all running like a poke weapon. It's not bad.
Still looking at it, but even if you get through these fights, you've got Cybercats and Alliance.
I thought for a minute there, I thought the zone was pulling like this way, but I was wrong. No, that center spot's amazing. This building's great here. Buildings are, that's not bad. This is no longer viable. This is no longer viable. It's fine for now to gate, and it's gonna be bad. The south side, it could pull to the south. It could. A lot of people aren't there yet. There could be at least one team plays there. It's not bad.
Pretty much toe for toe, one of the best weapons that he could use if he's not going to go
God.
Scout. 30-30 or PK, and speaking of that,
got shot from everywhere.
Oh, 30-30 answers right onto Calamity to cause some more chaos, and Blooming Flower.
What skin is that? Is that the Battle Pass skin? I don't even recognize that Rampart skin.
A little bit of aggression to take the bridge. And you just need to show a lot more of it if you want to keep transitioning towards zone, because even once you get over this bridge, you're still going to be on the other side of the mountain, not on the thermal side. So where we saw FaZe ambush a little bit earlier, those kind of positions alongside where Empire are holding at the train
kind of a
track,
strange port.
It's going to be such a tough ask to try and actually get
I think they could have just ran that. I'm not really sure if I would have wasted a port there.
Going to be able to get over either.
Because if they get a knock, it just feels like they just wasted utility.
Like they were fully wiped. We didn't really see at the end what happened to the remaining player, but they've done a good job. It was either God.
They knew nobody was. I don't understand that port there.
They got the other two back up on blues. They've got a chance. Alliance still playing pretty patiently there. Hockey's with the Spitfire and the PK. Ops away from the G7, as we had mentioned. Staying true to his word. And on the Pathfinder. So they're going to have some height. Sends in Unlucky, who just narrowly doesn't see the player in there. Hides behind a cart, takes a little bit of damage. Going to shield battery up for safety. But inside the exhibit of effect, Alliance saying,
Running
we believe
Seer,
in the
Pathfinder,
Seer in this
Newcastle.
match, and one of the only
Oh no,
Seers to come out
Hockeys
here
is just
in
getting
this
run down.
entire lobby of 20 teams. There's only one other Seer, and it belongs to Citadel Gaming, who've been playing it for the last 4 games.
And another reason why we're not seeing the ban coming out for
Alliance has a really big
Newcastle
uphill battle
is
to get
because
in.
of the amount of
It's gonna be hard for them.
So you've got 14 Ashes, but you've got 6 Pathfinders.
They got to find some momentum here.
So
They don't quite have it yet, but it's not the end of the world yet.
From the norm, which just changes.
And they're a little
those bans
split,
ever
which
so
is
slightly.
unfortunate.
So we'll have to see whether the Pathfinder can really help out. But again, that just leads into the fact that Alliance can play this exact same
They know.
composition going into the next game.
You can grapple away, should be alright.
Bit of a curveball in their selection.
Oof. Yeah, he should be fine.
They're just holding Harvester, but they do need to be a little bit worried about the teams around them because they might have to take a direct fight against Citadel Gaming, and if they don't, Cybercats might be able to push through. So this is why we're seeing Alliance take a different approach here. They don't want to actually go face on against a team when they're being watched over by another squad.
Yeah, they're trying to at least get a nice clean fight because they're getting focused by a lot of people. I agree with that.
To be able to understand where the zone is pulling, probably why opted for that over the Ash, which is, I think, something that they're skilled enough to navigate as well.
Oh my god, that guy's
Also,
won.
our team high ground, Pathfinder, Ash, both competing with that. Ronan, though, trying to compete here with this fight. A little bit of damage from the Maggie drill from Nate. He knows that pushes her or his opponent out a ways, and Nate's just going to give up on this one. Knows it's
Alliance could come in and actually clean this up. They're going to come in with low HP. That's great. They got this, so they're going to move in. This is the exact position they need. Then they rotate all the way south, and they work their way in towards the right side of Thermal after rotating in. So essentially, they're going to go like this way, and then right there. So you know where I'm drawing up there.
It's not a full wipe.
This is good momentum. This is what they need. They got the info. Can't overextend. Clean that up. Now they got one more team to worry about. They got the resources.
So 2 stragglers wiped out of the lobby, and now we're down to 17. You're seeing the
Oh man, the team just underneath here. That's a death sentence. They got to get out of that.
By scouts. And maybe even a couple of 30-30s have been picked up as well. Legion Gaming.
I'm surprised they just left their teammate though.
Able to find a spot here, but sadly, you say it's no man left behind, but
they just abandoned the teammate. I mean, I get even if they got the res, was he going to be able to survive? It's a tough gig.
I don't know if I was seeing the future saying Blooming Flower was in trouble, because he wasn't when I actually said that, but now he certainly is.
Ooh, well, I mean, Height's still in here.
I don't blame you.
Wow, I did say this. I didn't think it was going to pull here.
Blooming Flower, maybe.
I kind of thought it was going to pull towards like this side here. Do the opposite. Always a coin flip. Game winning spot here. This is going to be good for a while, and same here. Now the question, here's a question. 50-50 coin toss. Is it going to go north? Or is it going to go south? If it goes south, then they're in trouble. If it flips the other side, then they're looking great.
Already a ton of teams in Thermal.
It's a 50-50.
Let's just go towards the outskirts and see what we can find. And they've already found at least 2 teams that they can pick off there. Citadel Gaming, the other team, but they've got to deal with 07, who are very prepared
south
for this push from that side.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking too.
The zone shift that has only just become apparent
we'll see.
to a lot of these teams is going to be a tough one. Everyone who's on the southern side or the southeast side, this is where you need that Ash. You know, we've got 14 Ashes in the lobby, so there are teams that are going to be able to portal into safety.
Oh no.
But
Oh, he's burning too right there. He's burning hard.
But at the moment, every bit of utility, every single gun seems to be.
There's no way that, I mean, they could get the banner and get a res, but they don't have a support. The only way if they had a support here, I don't think this team would take and jump down at them. Those are moments where you're like, man, we wish we had a Newcastle. Like Fuse, I mean, Fuse is a great counter, but like when there are moments like that, they need that wall. Mention, you know how I said Alliance is going to end up over here? Nice. Oh god, this sucks. It's pulling more of the south side. It's going right here.
Knowing a team like Alliance might be trying to join the party. Let's listen in and see how they do.
Help him. Can you back him? Can you come dead? I'm dead.
R21, I'm nading it. Scanning it.
I think Alliance can clean this up.
All 3 down. All 3 there. Good nade.
Oh, nice. Huge damage. Nice.
Get the movie on his body.
I'm 14 seconds. I'm getting it.
Yep.
That was really nice. That was a good counter back. It goes back to what I said yesterday in yesterday's video. Just because you get a knock, it doesn't mean you have the advantage. It doesn't mean it's over. You can easily throw. You can easily move the fight back over.
We need to walk in Logan right side of fight.
They're just dying there where you ping. They're dying there where you ping. Fuck them in the back.
Come to me, I'm gonna sip.
Yeah.
They're also getting fucked. Go hide.
I think we're hide. Which hide?
Hey, right side.
Hide. Like hide.
Slipping.
I'm dropping off here for a second. I think I'm dropping off here. I'm batting.
You're fine.
Let's see what they got to run into here.
I got forward. I got on a choice.
They really don't have a choice here.
What's happening?
Oh, that sucks.
Jump on me.
Yeah, I am.
They're dying in the corner in front of me. Just pull. Q and pull.
I have no Q.
I'm surprised this team doesn't hear this. This heal.
It's only up.
Yeah, go closer, go.
Oh my God, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way they don't hear this. That's crazy. There's no way, dude. What is happening? Oh my God. There's no way if he gets 2 knocks here. There's no way if he gets 2 knocks. There's no way. Oh my God, that's crazy.
But it's not enough to silence the bullets.
That's gotta be like, just imagine how that team feels.
We said they were playing 2 games. We see which one was superior. Getting here early.
That's unfortunate. I bet you honestly, I know they called North. It's one of those things, hindsight 2020. Just why not just shove the South side? Because that South team was just not looking at them whatsoever.
Now finding a way to get the building on the lower ground and take out Passion to secure their spot. Not necessarily in zone, but at least
this could be anybody's game. I know, like, because like Roadhouse and Killer Whales have height, but their resources have to be struggling.
It might have been a different fight for effect there, but having to whip out the scouts in the game.
Excuse me, sorry.
Now, Killer Whales, I mentioned them earlier. They found top of Thermal, and they don't necessarily have the comp.
They've been here the whole time.
Because you have very little defensively, but thankfully the zone has played into them perfectly. Where they've just been
It's not going to end there. It's going to end probably like in this side right here. I don't think it's not going to pull south.
They've just been able to pepper people up from above with the scout.
I've been wrong before, but I'm banking on the north side.
Some good points here because the zone continues to pull. So all the people that were on the northern side, the likes of 07, FUL, who were looking like a really good spot if it was going to pull up towards those houses, now suddenly have to jump down towards the lava and might find themselves not even getting a top 5 at this point.
I mean, Dan, that's a great point. If you're looking at that map, it pulled up to those houses and now pulled back down towards the bottom half. This is
Bye-bye, Jen.
Tricky. Almost feels like if you're on the side of 07, this is a bit of a sick joke. But Citadel Gaming, they've been coming from that side as well. Always just keep tabs on them. They've been running at
he overextended the dash.
consistently, but
like he like cut it off short.
And there goes one of the leaders, FaZe Clan, the first place team, out for the count. And you can see Nasty with 07 finding a couple of kills as they move down, but they are.
This is kind of anybody's game right now, to be honest.
Finding kills, so it's 07 who falls. Citadel take the space. And keeping an eye on this team, and now they have certainly found a great spot.
Wow, Killer Whales. Like, it's not going to end right on top of them, but it's going to be close.
So even though Citadel
right there, look at that.
Dismal position earlier, the zone shift really helped them out.
Killer, I said that the zone was like that was gonna pull towards them. Like Killer Whales has a great spot. They should at least get top 3. I don't know if they'll win this.
Below them is Roadhouse, by the way, who have been going.
Remember how I said the downside of like playing height? If they drop, they gotta fight each other. That the team across the way has a higher chance. If this ends up with one team over here, one of these teams fight right here. If they fight, and it's just one right here, they have a high chance to win. They got to make sure that Killer Whales doesn't give them a hard time, though.
Unless we see something magnificent from one of these other.
Because these two have to drop on each other, and that's just GG's if they can do that. I highly doubt they're gonna be able to do it though.
Good job of at least applying some pressure. There's not much you can do in this type of engagement. Nobody's gonna go down. Nobody's gonna give up their spot, even if you get.
Hey, what's up, Rio? I try to respond to as many comments as I can. Which video did you leave it on?
Who might try to take advantage of that. So instead of looking up, I feel like Nam doing the right thing here, looking to the right, making sure that they stay safe.
I do the best I can. I've been kind of asleep quite a bit, so if it was the recent one from last night, there was a few I needed to respond to.
On the other side, you still see Citadel Gaming. They're going to go on the opposite side.
I am only human.
Still Killer Whales, and it's still
dude, Killer Whales like resources are horrible right now.
I like Roadhouse,
but hopefully you heard what I said, Roy.
especially since they don't have to
I want to know what video.
However, We have got
It also just type in
the
your
ability
name.
for Killer Whales to drop a little bit something else. Having Bangalore available to them, they are going to have the smokes as well to give them some coverage here. And mainly it's going to be what Citadel Gaming do alongside Nom.
The one you're talking about the things you should make for more videos? Are you talking about the one, the Yamcha thumbnail one?
So Killer Whales, they're just raining hell from above here.
Oh, that's huge, man. I mean, look at this. They started off with just a few
Sometimes,
kills.
I mean, I write
Now
notes
they've
and
at least
stuff
got
on what
11.
people type.
That is a massive game for them.
Like I said, I'm only human. I respond like, hey, I'm responding to you right now.
They now have 27. My goodness.
But I haven't responded to comments since last night.
Take a lot, though. They're going to have to be a little bit of Houdini magic here, pulling a rabbit out of the hat because Roadhouse
I did
has been
reply to at least like,
pretty
I thought like 12 or 13 comments of that video. There's a lot of comments on it right now.
Probably traveled the farthest to get here. Are gonna
Killer
take
Whales
a
actually got it.
second
Nice.
place 'cause Killer Whales are going to live up to the namesake. They hunt in the pack.
Thank you. I had the idea, and then Eddie, he just does an amazing work on the thumbnails.
Just with one game, they had an insane amount of kills there.
We called that spot from the beginning. That was an amazing spot for Killer Whales, by the way. I did counteract it, thinking that the zone is pulling a little further to the right off of it. But otherwise, I mean, from the very beginning, I was like, that's Killer Whales' game. That spot is just so good.
To smoke down, get rid of any kind of obstacles that were being set up by other teams as they were transitioning in, but it also was just giving small tags to add damage to it as well, and they're going to be delighted because
the other two teams, the only way they're going to have a chance is if they were able to kill each other. So then the other two teams dropped on one another so they could just watch, but it just didn't happen that way.
Another game like that, things could really work out, and I love the way they navigate.
Yeah, I'll try to look for your comment and reply.
That's one of the things we always look to see.
Today's a little busy, and I'm probably going to reply to more comments tonight. I mean, I try to go through at least like 10 to 20 comments, and if somebody like last night on God, yesterday's video was just adding so many comments. I kept replying well into the night.
So far of the weekend in Americas and EMEA's. Wonderful performance from them with
That was a lot of points from Killer Whales.
Unorthodox composition, Dan.
It was just great positioning. It was the positioning just couldn't have been better for them.
Away from the teams that were on the south, so they had to kind of run towards the center of thermal, and that allowed them to just pepper any arriving teams. And
So yeah, I mean, it's a great spot.
Towards the middle of
Shoot,
thermal,
even when
so
I've
the
done
teams on
tournaments,
the
that spot is
north then had
insane.
to
It's
move
just
in as
it's such a
well,
good
and they just had
spot.
the perfect vantage point, and look where it puts them. Suddenly they've caught up Alliance.
Yeah,
Alliance and
wow.
Wales were down in the bottom 3
That's
before
insane.
that,
That's
and
a
now
big
they find
game for them.
themselves all the way up into the top 5, and you've mentioned it. You know, they are closing in on the top spots, and with another game like that, they could suddenly be in first place.
But Roy,
So
I
it
appreciate
does
you, bro.
blow everything wide
Roy
open.
Visions.
Man, this is a team
I always
too,
appreciate
we've
long
seen kind of
comments.
these explosive days, be unafraid to fight. And
Every
I
comment
love
always
that
helps the
that is
channel
actually
immensely.
earning them some value. I also love
Good
right
and bad.
now
I reply to
what
both good and
feels
bad
like a very
comments.
static meta, seeing some staccato to break up the consistent metronomic pace of what we're seeing across the lobbies. Alliance have done it, Citadel Gaming have done it, now Killer Whales have done it. Both of those, all three of those teams certainly succeeding more so.
I'll check it out. I'll write it down. A lot of the videos I produce are sometimes just what people type, and sometimes it takes me a while to get to them because I try to produce 2 videos a week, and then I just write it down and have it on the docket for later.
All on the other side of the spring.
It helps because when I'm working like 9 to 5, and then at least I have ideas already kind of planned out. All right, Ash's band. Yeah, she was the highest pick rate. Now the question is, what are people gonna use for rotation? What do we even got? We got. I think Pathfinder will skyrocket. Who else do we got? You need verticality for World's Edge. Like, as much as Mad Maggie is great, she's a great like secondary. Yeah, that's the like the only answer. All right, let's find out. Let's see here. Like, what do we got for choices here for Legends for rotation? You know what's crazy? Bangalore hasn't really made much of a presence. Not good for rotation though. I think really the only option left is quite literally Pathfinder. Rubnik can move on his own. Valk is one. You ever played Donkey Kong Country? Of course I have. That's where I use the music from. Yeah, honestly, it's either Valk or Pathfinder. That's it. It's really the only two picks I could foresee that they're gonna do next. And if they ban Pathfinder next, then maybe, I don't know, just go on full turtle mode. Turtle on up. Everyone go full turtle.
Red Bull is the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series.
All right.
Back, everybody. Game number 5 is just around the corner. Game number 4 went to our first winners with an amphibious name, if I'm not mistaken. Dan Gaskin. We'll have to check the history books for that. But Killer Whales were the winner over at Thermal Station on our first World's Edge game, and it set us up beautifully. Because
oh yeah, 2 and 3 as well.
That was a little bit of a line in the sand. That was a huge performance from them.
Yeah, unbelievable amount of kills, and as I was alluding to just at the end of the game, everything just seemed to play perfectly into their hands and their position. Sometimes sitting top of Thermal can be to your detriment, but with how the zones were shifting back and forth from south to north, back down to south, it meant that it just played perfectly into their spot, and they were able to pick apart those teams that were desperately scrambling to get across lava. And then in the end, they committed at the right time as well, dropping off height and taking the fight successfully together to be able to shut down the teams below them.
Yeah, pretty.
How do you feel about ranked and ALGS? I know the season they try to make it more like. Yeah, I would say they even tried. Was it last season even? Yeah, with last season trying to continue to make it more light. Do you think they should try to go more ALGS side or casual? I would say for ranked that it's fine if it mirrors what comp is, and I think that people who play comp enjoy that. I think that's why wildcard and regular pubs exist, so you can get more of a casual experience from that.
Yeah, I mean, if we were to see,
I think the rewards need to be bigger for ranked.
Themselves in first place, and that would be like such bad news for the like FaZe clan who have
wouldn't it be cool if like the top 5 teams or something were just guaranteed a spot at ALGS or something, like give an incentive to rank?
But I'm expecting FaZe to be able to bounce back.
Maybe it's a bad idea. I'm just hot takes, okay? Hot takes. Just there has to be a carrot at the end or something, you know? It'd be cool.
They are able to move on here and still be first place.
Now, of course, they would need to deal with cheaters if you start giving like those big incentives. The rewards need to be bigger. It'd be kind of crazy if they just gave them like a crap ton of Apex coins. It'd be kind of cool, something, an incentive. But the issue is just cheaters.
Something we've been talking about for quite some time, and something that only a play like that
cheaters, man,
gets close to pulling off.
Yeah, I think I said it. If he had 2 R9s, it might have been a different story, but having to whip out the scout and try and hit fire it is never going to be fun for you.
It's hard to like have a big incentive whenever cheating is. It's prevalent across all games. Like I just won't pick on like Apex, but like FPS games in general. I don't know why it's so. It's just plagued so bad.
How this is going to affect matches 5 and 6?
It's just this ongoing battle, and it's super unfair. And I don't know.
Indeed, and now you're looking at who your rotational character's going to be, right? Who's going to get you from A to B? Because Alter gone, Wraith.
All right, I'm guessing Pathfinder about.
You have to wonder who that next legend is going to be.
70%. I'm guessing we're 70% leaning towards Pathfinder.
So an interesting one for sure. We're going to have to see how this game plays out and who he's going to be.
How would you measure that? Maybe based off individuals on their points.
It's going to allow you to get somewhere near it.
Well, here we go. Match 5, and a chance for someone maybe to do exactly what the Killer Whales have just done. They went from zeros to heroes.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great spot. Their spot was God's spot. Like, it just... The minute I saw it from the beginning, it's like, that's Killer Whales game unless they throw it.
Do the same. Now, in terms of legend selection, well, when you've lost Wraith, when you've lost Alter, when you've lost Ashe, who do you turn to? Well, good old-fashioned Pathfinder. We're going to see Pathfinder.
Oh, bang! There we go. We got some bang.
16 Pathfinders. So Newcastle
16 Pathfinders.
Again, and this is where legend bans become very interesting.
Now the question is, because Pathfinder's going to get banned, who do you play for the last round?
Different ban, and it changes everything for the remainder of this series because now we've lost Ashe, where typically she would have been available here.
Yeah, strike packs, Chron Ascends, really all that crap, man.
Because he's one of the last few mobility legends.
It's crazy.
So he's going to give you that survey beacon information, so Pathfinder fulfilling those 2 roles, but it's interesting.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Rain. It's great to have you here.
A Pathfinder ban, like just full stop. I can't remember one in recent memory. I'm sure that people will correct me if I'm wrong, but Pathfinder certainly back to the fore here.
Yeah, it's just in this map you need a rotation. Where is this going to end? It's going to be interesting. It's going to pull here. That's where everyone. It's not going to pull here. It is not going to pull here. It's not going to pull here. There is a big question mark here. The map could literally do that and screw everyone here. I am going to hedge my bets.
I mean, a Skyhook zone
on Skyhook.
16 Pathfinders in the lobby. Yes, please sign me up. There's going to be zip mayhem.
Yeah.
As everyone moving from building to building here, trying to get the best spot. And
the most popular comp, I would assume, is going to be Newcastle, Watson, and Pathfinder. Yeah, for the most part.
Zone, but they may not even know it yet, because I don't think either of them would have had a chance to hit Ring Console. There are some survey beacons for them to get info from a little bit later on, but I think they're just.
Yeah, I'm 100% guessing this.
Arriving. You can see
now, Alliance has a great spot. If it pulls there,
from the north, Legion
this is hands down one of the best spots to hold.
The early movers starting to arrive.
With like second place, because it's not going to pull here. I guarantee that. Well, it could. But the center where Alliance is at, this is kind of Alliance's game. They got gifted a zone. Doesn't mean that they'll guaranteed win it, but they have a high probability of placing really well here.
Might be good for some KP.
Alliance needs this.
Finding your way in late when that zone does pull away, that we can see it's going to do on Ring Console, puts you in a really, really tough position to rotate.
You know what's crazy? I've never done Apex GeoGuessr. I know it exists.
Citadel Gaming, we'll have to see how they play it out and if they can adapt to that zone. We'll take a look at Skyhook though, as the teams do start to arrive.
It's a good tool. Like, I've seen it. I just have never like messed with it myself. I've only seen like people messing with it, or I've seen like in a YouTube video. Do the rotation. Everyone's literally going to get to a building here. What do I use for on-screen? It's called Epic Pen.
9 Watson, 7 Ramparts, 5 Bangs. Got Cryptos, Maggies, Sparrows, and Seers. So plenty to play with.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh wow!
Final circles as Blast gets blasted. But I do think Rampart is going to play a big part in this final zone as well.
Do it again.
Sheila, in general, is going to be important against all the Newcastles in the lobby.
That's an interesting one, isn't it? It's kind of fulfilling that role of the Ring Console character. So someone who's going to be able to hit that objective to give you the zone information. But in this kind of a zone where everyone can stack up, I feel like, you know, zone information, it's a very readable one, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
In hindsight,
there's a lot of...
Everyone knows this is a Skyhook zone, even off of zone 1, I would suggest. So it's one of those where you're like, hey, if we would have known this was going to be a Skyhook zone, maybe we wouldn't have played a console character. But that's just never going to happen, unfortunately. It's the one in the million that you're just going to never bet against. Never bet that is going to happen.
Again, it's always those niche situations, isn't it? But FaZe Clan, first place at the moment, 54 points.
I don't... this is the way I'm guessing the lobby's going to be. There's going to be like 13 to 14 squads holding a building in Skyhook. Skyhook endings are always just notorious for non-stop building holds.
Dropping down on towards the southern side of the map. So
unless we see teams on the outskirts kind of desperate to go fight for KP, Skyhook is going to be absolutely flooded with people playing for end zone.
Pretty aggressive comp, although does look like they've shifted somewhat as they've got more points, and maybe they've realized.
My thought process, it looks like I usually use like the out of bounds where it looks like it's pulling and historical. And then sometimes even where you're guessing historical, it's a 50-50 pull. My god, that was a really good spray. Oh no, he didn't know he left. If it pulls again, I'll try to like explain my thought process and like how I guess. But even then, it's a 50-50 pull at the end. Good finisher.
Which means you're not going to be able to get the free get out of jail pass and hit that void nexus. And now they've got to worry FaZe about turning their backs to killer whales, like you said. But it looks like the timing for them could not have been better in that situation.
Yeah, this is perfect for FaZe Clan. They're going to have a clean rotation all the way through Monument and up towards Skyhook. No one should get in their way unless they want to try and hold out the teams behind them. But considering the comp they're playing, the fact that you've got the Watson...
it's not bad if teams rotate late because there's going to be a lot of buildings in Skyhook to play from. I just think Alliance has one of the best spots.
And they can use the crypto to try and work out.
Did Alliance leave their height?
As well. So it might work
no, they're up there. Okay, I was about to say, there's no way.
They're going to be arriving late. And remember, they can hit Ring Console for Zone 3 information as well, just to get a better spot in Skyhook.
SBS find a spot. Lots of them available, of course, here on the eastern side of bar.
See what I mean? Where it's like there's gonna be a lot, dude. That's incredibly greedy. That's crazy. It's not like they have an altar for it. That's crazy. That's incredibly greedy. I'm sure their comment is like, bro, you shouldn't have gone for that. No kidding. Like, dude, do you realize how many people are in buildings nearby? That's insane.
Riot Gaming will win that fight, but they're going to have to find a way to get Python back in this game. They do have the Moby by the sounds of it. But they've got to be careful with a third
Going
party
for
moving
resources
and
like
seeing
that without an altar or anything?
Does
Like,
anyone
what are you
take the
doing?
bait here?
Good EMP. I think that's going to slow them down. They're not going to take that now.
I don't think anyone will now try and commit to it. Well, Zone 3 information is
So
not really
this is
going
out of
to give
bounds
you anything
here.
more than you previously had.
We
So
if we
even though
split
FaZe
it down the middle
were
where
able
it's
to
going to
potentially get it
pull.
on their way, it's nothing
Like
new
if you're
them,
looking
so
to
they're
hold
gonna
the
probably
south side,
still go up
I
towards
want to
the
say it's going to pull more.
northeast, I would imagine, and try and get in that way.
I would
You
say
don't
more the
really wanna try
north
and go through Vault Tunnel
is
here.
where
It
I'm
would be
guessing.
quite a difficult spot, but
Like, let's look at the
being
map
on their way
before.
will
Let's
maybe
pretend this
give them
didn't
a little
exist.
bit
I would
more
say
of an
no to
idea of
this
how they
side
wanna play
because it
this.
leans more heavy towards this side of the map.
Should be able to purples as well. You see the Evo Harvester was
Is
right
where
next
like
to
this
them.
would be
So
no,
FaZe
this
are
would be
gonna
no,
approach
this would be
one of literally
no.
the best chances
That's why I would pull
of
north,
fighting their way
right?
into a spot.
Now
They're also
further
gonna see
with
there's
that thought
still,
process
as
is
there
that
always is,
the
there's
rocks are
golden
no.
buildings available for
I'm
them,
still
but they've got to
guessing it's
find
on
their
this.
way
I've
to
seen it end up here in this spot so many times. So many times. But ALGS sometimes throws curveballs because they want it to be interesting. It could in theory pull south. But I'm calling on the north side because that's why Alliance, if it pulls north side, Alliance is going to have a crazy position. Their positioning is going to be insane. Also, end zones, they don't necessarily want to have too many buildings in because it causes just like, nobody will fight.
Inside of this building as SPS is putting the damage down.
Yeah, SPS already found
Excuse me.
one. I don't even know if there is the remainder of the team available to fight. I think the remainder of the team has actually taken flight and got out of that position. And just trying to survive and see if they can maybe do anything as a duo, but...
Tough gig.
FaZe flying into the southwest is an interesting one.
I gotta
It's
do
not where
movie
that zone
shorts
goes.
tonight.
You
I still
mentioned it. It's
post
being pushed
shorts on the
here at
movie
this point.
channel.
Not overcommitting to a fight
Just realized
that's
what day it
pointless,
is.
and instead getting zone 4 information before you start to make that move, because that's going to be the biggest aspect of this game, is where that zone goes. Does it go towards the central building? Does it pull a little bit further southwest? Or does it go even further north, where the likes of 07 currently find
See where
themselves?
Alliance is? God spot right there. Crazy spot.
Gonna have to be shown here by teams.
Now, it doesn't mean they'll win per se, but they have the highest percentage to win this game.
Difficult for some of those
If,
squads,
see the zone, if it pulls on the towards the north half,
we need
like,
to get some KP as well as
we'll see though.
points to force ourselves up the leaderboards, but this probably just isn't the game for it. This is the game for the long game, so to speak.
Like all these teams, if it pulls it in the center right here, we'll have to fight, but we'll see how that works.
We take a look at Killer Whales, the winners of our previous games. They had a long way to go here.
I guess what pretty much how I'm calling zones are just patterned. What have I seen? How much through casting and how many times I played ranked and then see comp in the past.
Let's see what the plan is.
Let's see what the plan is. Oh, we really don't have any plan. Oh god. Oh, I don't know where to man.
There's one guy here, I think.
Just imagine.
Wait, the party.
Well, I had to mess up my mic a little bit. All right, guys. Like, let's listen to the plan. Oh, I'm not sure what to do here.
We don't know. Just slide down.
I'm not making fun of Killer Whales. I'm just making fun of anybody in general. Just like if they said, let's listen into the comms.
I'm batting. Can we just run to the building? Just bat and run to the building.
They got to run to something.
He's on roof.
Good smoke.
I can't say.
Bro, do they have zip?
Back.
They can wait a minute, but they need zip.
We can just go back around if you have to. Just don't die.
Yeah, we need to.
Just go back.
Yeah, I'm
dead. I'm dead. Wait, I'm good.
No, you're good. I'm smoking here, Victor, okay?
I've zipped in 50%.
50%. That's a long time. That's unfortunate. I'll be eating a lot of zone until then.
You wanna go countdown?
Yeah.
They could come right back and then take the hill right here and then look for a building, but they are at a massive disadvantage for a while.
You can go thingy again, mark it. I mean, if we wait, do you have
Oh yeah, they did. They just used it. Good call.
2 medkits, 600.
I have one medkit, 25%.
Yeah, the syringe is here, but
I would actually say take height. Like go height like right now. There you go.
I don't think. We just go from this
And they got to work their way in.
Yeah, but they took it now.
They just gotta have to zip past, smoke.
Killer try and wrap. They get the pick on the height, but it just seemed to draw attention to them down as they tried to slide down. You heard in the comms as well. No Pathfinder zip available. They used it to get to that position, which means that they couldn't really capitalize on getting that knock and getting into zone.
Yeah, now they have to have a long old journey round.
Kraber just sitting there.
They were talking about going down towards Count now, but I was wondering if they could head north and that wrap. It seems like they had the meds for it, and looking at the map, it looks like that might be what they're going to go for here. Again, it could still be a difficult rotation for them in, but it might give them a better opportunity to play for the end game.
I just realized
because this
Zipline
zone
Mafia
is
doesn't have a
transitioning
Pathfinder.
east, we're going to be heading a little bit further east.
Is that like a
so for FaZe Clan,
branding
for example,
issue?
Who head to the southwest, they're going to have to now move through about 6 or 7 teams before they can even get into zone. So it's going to be a tough old journey for them as well.
Yeah, looking at like the likes of UAIM, very good.
Yeah, that poor lonely Craveberry Grey Wolf.
And the triple stack. They're currently split holding at the moment, so teams might try and identify that as a building, one of those buildings that can be taken. Of course, the triple stack building as well is going to have floors available to try and force on. There's the killer whales. Sure, they can go to airborne.
It's a good rotation. Let's see if where it's pulling in this next one. This next one will be very telling if this is going to be Alliance's game or not.
You can see a few Mad Maggies in the lobby, but the difference that Mad Maggie can make, because it now forces them down, and suddenly Killer Whales as a 2. You still have the Newcastle available, but Warrior's gonna have to do his best. But sadly, I think Killer Whales.
I mean, it's not.
To their death here.
I was supposed to say it's not over yet, but looking pretty bleak. Oh, he didn't make the climb up.
Delay the inevitable here. King Victor will go down. Killer Whales will be eliminated.
They had a hard rotation.
Not going to be able to make the rotate work. Too many lines of sight on that height that they did land on initially, and
see where it pulls. Moment of truth, guys. Does it pull north or south? I'm guessing north.
That position once they knew some damage was done. 07 on that northern side. We said how it will be good for now, but
north or south? Oh wow, well, that's the north, kind of the right though.
Might be a little bit different. They're going to wrap back towards train station immediately here, and as you can see on the very
building
tip of the zone, that's 07.
Alliance can wait a little longer. That's an interesting zone pull. I haven't seen that one in a hot minute.
Cybercats, for example, then they could.
As long as they were to gate this side and clear out their backs and then focus forward for like an Alliance afterwards, it's probably the best way to go about this. Anybody here is not a threat to Alliance.
To take the building on the southwest. How they kept just moving.
The zone in afterwards is going to be tricky.
They would have been prime position on that right hand side. Now, granted, a difficult
Zipline
spot
Mafia
to hold because
gone for
those
sure
buildings
over
were
there.
Taken, but the building below UAIM, for example, is still available.
Yeah, I haven't seen that zone pull. I feel like that's. I mean, it's been a while. I've seen it pull in that like street corner. There's a lot of open space with one building really the powerhouse there.
And by doing so,
two buildings.
they might be able to just increase their lead in first place. Let's jump into a listening with FaZe Clan and see how they feel about this zone.
How do we feel about this zone? This zone sucks.
This team just zip to this building. This building is free. We can fight this. They're fighting. Or something. Take Dyna. One shot back.
Checkpoint rotate. It's a solo crypto in here.
He's coming back. In front door. One.
Guffling in.
One dead.
Another one.
Coming.
Crypto one.
One out. Come inside.
Knee top.
One. Dead.
Nice, good cleanup.
Fall.
I'm running. We're not. It might be in outside, but I don't think we're in here.
We can play the fences. It's okay. We can do the building.
No. There's nothing in.
Really interesting listening there. They win the fight against Zipline Mafia, but one thing I love and I want to highlight, Dan, is the use of the term checkpoint and rotate. That means piece by piece, step by step, we're going to give ourselves checkpoints, move from building to building to try and get to this zone. Ronin,
I love the different terminology. It's like everyone's saying the same thing. Checkpoints. It's like I could compare it to football. Getting to your next like point before you hit the finish line, or you know the.
Just taking any space that is presented.
I'm blanking on the words, but you get what I'm saying. Scaling, pushing, checkpoint. Where's the next spot that you're trying to aim for next? It's not bad if they clear the backs here. This zone hurts though. You can't sit there too long.
Because they are still trying to work out their journey.
I think FaZe have recognized the end game maybe not possible. But
they unfortunately lost their fast res. Excuse me.
Alive here for FaZe momentarily. You can see Phoenix is in front of him as a solo as well. The lobby's starting to light up. Citadel Gaming will be out as well as 15 squads find themselves still standing here in this lobby.
So I'd say Synetic probably wants to
this is going to be a mess
and become a little bit invisible. Maybe you can do the hero play, grab those banners and get the team back in.
Best you can do if you're in zone is just kind of hunker down and wait and just bunker through as much of this as possible until you stabilize and then start to push up.
Been able to push in on this building right below, and 07 have actually.
There's going to be like 3 teams in this building. There's going to be somebody on the height, somebody on the second floor, somebody on the bottom floor at least. Right now there's 2. There should be 3. Nobody's on height right now. I guarantee somebody will zip line to the height.
One of the floors of the building next to them now, in the green building.
I mean, it's possible.
07 initially forced the bottom floor, and Roadhouse now find themselves having to move in. 20 seconds to make their play. 14 squads still alive.
This makes it really hard for teams like Alliance and Roadhouse here to work their way in.
Near this end game. If you're in a safe spot right now,
you're chilling.
So alert to every every team that's going to be trying to
14 squads. You know how I said end zone was going to be like stupid, like crazy stack with like 14 squads? Here it is. Exactly what I said was going to happen.
Well, you can hear the res ship. SJP2 get eliminated. Alliance, we check back in with them. They're on top of the cake building at the moment. They will be
I have no idea how Alliance is going to do it. It's not impossible, but they're going to have to make a really big play to take a building. That building is fantastic if they were to take it. Oh.
And actually, you could just use it as bait.
It wasn't electrified as well, so they would have taken a lot of damage on it. FaZe Clan have been eliminated.
I mean, the other teams are fighting if they bide their time. I don't know if they have wall. This is crazy. They have no idea, bro. Has no idea. Okay, nice. They found space. They found space. All they got to do is hold. If they hold and they reset, this isn't bad. There's a res on the far right. They don't know about it yet.
As I say that, a few nades are starting to
Oh my gosh.
now they do get spotted out. Roadhouse and Nom are going to get eliminated.
Hawkins just has to clutch here. Oh, I don't think he's going to be able to, and they're out.
Between all these buildings, all these teams who seem
That was close. That was really close.
As that next zone closes in, Cybercats just about survive as Alliance get eliminated. We have 8 squads still in this final circle.
It's pulling out into no man's land. Yeah. If you've got a Newcastle in your competition,
This end zone sucks. This is anybody's game. The question is, who's going to have to move first based on the zone? This building or this building? The diner has to move first, so this team is probably going to go out first. They have to leave the height.
It's tough to say who's in the best position right now because so many teams are compromised. I think Take Flight is just a 2. No, there are 3. There are 3. Okay, so Take Flight, even though they are without teams below them, they are just so vulnerable when they drop. As
I want to say that there's more space in for this building over here.
Maybe Passion, there's something to be said about their position at the moment. Again, they are on their own in the building.
Yeah, because I think it's going to pull more right towards their side, I think.
This is a really tough
That's
zone
tough.
to try and call anyone who's a potential favorite here. So a lot of it's going to come down to actual gun ability here, and maybe who is
even who's going to use walls. There are 3. Remember how I said 1, 2, and 3? That did stack. 3. This building is not it anymore.
Sheila deleting artificial cover at the moment. Let's take flight.
My God, this zone sucks so bad. Once everybody's in the center right here, it's just gonna be, it's TDM. There's no way to call who's gonna win. It could be anybody. It could be a rat that just shows up at the end.
Yeah, this could be a big fight if you win this one, but because you've lost 2 already, can you even...
Can he even res in time?
We'll have to see. It's going to be a race against the zone. All the meanwhile, you can see
that building ended up becoming more optimal.
Empire are holding the top of it and look to be one of the...
Empire has to drop. This is just TDM. Ready? Straight TDM. Who knows who's going to win? Empire has a good jump. Whiffing. Okay. Smart reset. Very smart. Very smart. Wait it out. Wait it out. That's Empire's game. CG's. It's done. It's done. That was really smart to back out of that instead of just accidentally getting gibbed. That was really smart. Very smart.
And it's going to be Rampart who influences how this game goes.
It was literally full TDM. Who knows where that could have gone.
Yeah, Empire send themselves up to 2nd place.
Because it could have gone many ways. Like, what if the team underneath like absolutely mopped it and then just waited for Empire? Like, there's so many different ways that could have gone.
See a bunch of teams in the same building, but the fact that Empire had the high ground over everyone and they had cover to work with as well. And I love what they did. When they dropped, they didn't just get sucked into the fight. There was obviously a call to say, look, we can retreat from this one slightly, take middle of the map, and then it's just going to be a free win as we can watch over everything. We would have seen a lot of teams there maybe overcommitting to that fight, got a little bit excited, a little bit nervous about what was happening around them. But someone had the wise words to say, look, we are free if we just move away from this transition fight.
Yeah, that was really smart.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Stuff. I think just having that height advantage towards the end game as well, they could see what side of the zone was going to be clear, right? They had so many shots onto the likes of SPS, were able to clear that side of the zone and then just castle walling out to face back onto where the rest of the action was. Really, really well played from them. And to be honest with you, I thought the teams that were in green might have a bit of a better opportunity, but of course it's difficult to leave green when there's multiple teams stacked up in there. Even
big game for Empire.
Longer, at some point they all had to leave and they just ended up cannibalizing each other. Empire Gaming with 15 KP alongside the 12 gives them 27 points and gives us yet another.
I got one more game. Game 6 coming up.
Well, yeah, it has been all over the place here in EMEA.
The question with every mobility legend gone from the game, outside of probably Valk, who are we going to see?
8 kills for Empire Gaming does give them the opportunity to potentially win this series going into match 6. They are catching up FaZe Clan, and even though FaZe Clan have just been able to keep arm's length away from everyone, just being in that touching distance does give some of these teams the opportunity going into the last one.
Well, this is how it looks in the series at the moment. Like,
Wow, Empire really spiked up.
Still with a pretty commanding lead.
Honestly, for the last game, like anybody could win at the end here in the top at least 5 or 6, 7, and then switch it around and they could be in the top like 3 easy.
Roadhouse 43, Citadel 41. And you aim just behind them as well. The leaderboard is going to change significantly in this final game, and that's kind of been synonymous with EMEA so far this season. It feels like every single match week is going down to that final game that's going to give such a big impact on how the final standings look.
Yeah, FaZe Clan seems like they have done most of the work on E-District, but if we see one of those incredibly huge games again from any of these teams that are chasing,
That's a tough pull. Alliance had a really great spot the whole time. They honestly could have really clutched there. It was a little messy though.
Final one of the day just after this break. We'll be back in just a few moments' time.
Need a breather, Wally. Should I slow down?
Ah, now that's a work of art right there.
Of course you think that. You've got one bloody eye.
Uh-oh. Just walk it off. Yeah, you'll be all right. Oh, guess not.
Putting my heart out there.
Wrecking ball's fired up, literally, cuss.
Some days it's just too easy.
Finally, thought it'd never shut up.
Well, funny thing about a wild card, they always turn up again.
All right. Game 6. Wait. Well, no, the numbers. No, stop. Uno mas game. Yeah, no worries, Robo. I got you.
Welcome back again, everybody, to the LGS EMEA Pro League, and we got one more game to get concluded here today. Game number 6 is coming up. World's Edge is going to be where we stand, and we've had 5 different winners across 5 different games. Will we see one team repeat it today? Will we see FaZe hold on to that first place spot, or will we see 6 different winners and a complete shake-up here at the end of these games?
And a little bit of a shake-up of legend selection as well, with Ashe and Pathfinder being banned, which is not something we typically see. This match 6 is going to be an interesting one. Like, I'm trying to think of a legend that you can play that can give you a little bit of coverage and ability from point A to point B, but you've now lost Alter, Wraith, Ashe, and Pathfinder. Where do you even go from here? This is what you're going to see a few more teams just going for potentially a bit of Mad Maggie in action.
A little bit of Bangalore might be the only option I can think of, like for smokes to cross. But again, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like, if you're a team right now, do you play for a particular zone? Do you say, hey,
before we head into game 6, thanks. Oh, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you guys.
So do we go for something that's going to give us a little bit more artificial cover?
You think Bang? What if we see Bang Gibraltar?
See how the compositions look as we take a look back.
Valk isn't bad. I wonder if like Valk would actually make a return to like rotate people into zone quickly. That was meta at one point. It's not impossible.
It's trying to deduce who is the
It would be kind of a dark horse kind of pick.
It's very difficult to work out when there's this many squads because it sometimes comes down to what the teams below do to you. Do they commit early? Do they commit late? Can they frustrate you by holding you out? But in the end, we saw, I think, Citadel take an early position. Take Flight also tried to find a spot. Oh, sorry, it's Passion that tried to take an early spot. But in the end, it was just a little bit too early. They were able to be focused on. But Empire just had the extra bit of coverage, and having the Newcastle with the shield here alongside the amped cover just meant that they were in practice. But look here,
the unfortunate whistle of the PK that hurts.
We don't need to be taking this fight. There is no one behind us.
And they're like, it's GG's, it's GG's.
And then it's just a simple cleanup from this point.
It's Sheila Fest in the final moments to clean things up for Empire Gaming, giving them their first win of the day. But we was kind of talking about counter comps, counter play styles, and we've seen a fair bit of that today actually in EMEA, and it's kind of led into this discussion that we're having about what legends we're going
I'm so curious to see what they're going to pick at the end here. Every real rotation legend is just gone for the most part.
Into match number 6
for fast mobility.
I'm very interested in what these compositions look like, Dan, as we take a look at the bands.
Like your skirmishers, like what are you going to run, Octane?
All of the previous
yeah, right.
match weeks, and I think you might be correct. I don't think we've seen a Pathfinder banned in any... Oh, no, we have. Okay, so EMEA, technically, we would have seen a Pathfinder ban going
I could see Valk
match 7
being an option.
Week. But that was game 6. Pathfinder became the most prevalent, but of course, technically didn't get banned because it was the last
Let's see.
Yeah, we are seeing Pathfinder pop up again, and that was because we had already lost Ash. We'd lost.
I mean, people could just go opposite, go full turtle. It's turtle mode.
Here,
it's turtle time.
This match 6 is very interesting in terms of where you go for your comp. And yeah, you hit
give us a leaderboard. Let me see what people are picking. I want to see.
Used here, we are seeing a little bit more Mad Maggie coming in as well. Plenty of Sparrow, but 13 Bangalore's just to try and give you that smoke for
there you go. Wolf called it.
From point A to point B.
Well, that's going to be the
smoke coverage.
Bangalore is going to be what we're going to be looking at. There's
does help with the resets and stuff. It makes sense. It would just be nice to see like Valk as like a dark horse return. She hasn't been meta in so long. I remember when she was 100, like almost 100% pick rate.
We might have a monument finish.
She just like dropped off when like zip lines and everything, or evac towers became more prevalent.
Down to the south as well. Again, a difficult read here. I think this is one where you're hoping that your scrims have presented
Catalyst,
a similar zone, and
Gibby,
you get an idea
Bang,
of where this end game is going to pull to.
Gibby, Bang, Newcastle.
Move for FaZe Clan down at Tree again. That's going to be.
I don't see the value of the fuse pick, but
they can have to move the majority of the map. Not a bad one for Empire Gaming though, who are in second place, and they do have a ring console at Overlook, so they can move pretty fast to where they believe. This
let's see where it's going to end.
If they want to play that way, but having the Rampart and the Newcastle, you'd imagine they're going to try and play zone pretty early.
No,
Legion Gaming also, I believe, have a ring console up to the north. East.
This area here, split down the middle, is it going to be option 1 or option 2? I don't really know. That's a coin toss in this area here. Top or bottom?
Both POIs to themselves.
Is everything no, and then no? It's just going to be in this area. For the most part, that's what I'm guessing.
And I wonder if they play the height here to look
it could do something stupid and pull like that side, but I still don't know.
Northern pull. It's a tough one to call as an IGL, I feel. It's a safe position to play from, but if it does pull down to that south, then 07 are going to have some trouble, especially like we've mentioned with the lack of.
I mean, it's not impossible. I'm just like looking like it's just this area is kind of what I'm banking on.
But the good news for most players and most people here is that there's going to be a lot of space to play, so you're not going to have to rely on that too much in this game.
I don't necessarily think there's a spot that you can hold here to guarantee like a win.
Since the change happened, where if you hit a ring console, you get an automatic balloon that just pops out that you can transition very quickly to, but that has sped up the process of moving into zone. So you have to be very aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
In an area where the zone is coming towards you, because people
I
are going to be there.
Well, I wouldn't say any
fast
spot right now is
those
game
ring
winning, kind of
consoles
like what we see like
and
thermal or
getting an
something, but it's a
instant
good spot. The only downside is just make sure they have the resources, because they ended up here very early.
Then you just might be able to, you just get split up, and then you're going to lose that prior. So
nobody really has pushing power, which is also different. That's also what's going to make this lobby really interesting, is that nobody necessarily has like, I get a knock, I can secure space instantaneously almost, you know?
It's going to be Cybercats and Ronin. So it looks like Ronin have decided to retreat from this position. The Cybercats will be granted the ability to grab Evo Harvester uncontested. So both of these teams essentially working towards purples to try and find their way in towards zone. Looking if there's any outliers here. Citadel Gaming are taking
the Apex time, right?
understandably a long way for them to go.
I don't really know if we're going to see like a lot of teams die early on this. I think it's going to be a slower lobby. It's just hard for people to traverse.
The best loot from any POR on the map. Let's have a little look back here because Nate is a little bit cheeky over.
Yeah, a lot of teams are playing it really quiet.
On the egg build. He's a little bit separated actually from the rest of his team here on Ronin. So Nate's got to be careful.
Yeah, you don't want to be separated this early. And just allow someone to kind of walk in on you and take your spot away from you and beat you in the rotation or beat you to prio. And you can see how congested it is at Monument already.
Yeah.
Now the late movers, however, it's going to be a very different story for them. Ronin continue to see if they can work their way through on that side, but Cybercats holding them out to their best.
Early fight here.
Good damage coming out from Ronin and allow them to push forward, and they are going to take this fight.
Nope.
Not
I think they're
mistaken
going to
as well.
commit to
Cybercats
it.
playing a lifeline. I saw them running through an enemy lifeline ult here. If you can get rid of that early and burn it, it makes the fight a little bit more comfortable for you. MG Clutch wants to peek.
Big damage, big damage.
Has to hit this big
Oh.
shot and will be able to. Should be able to do some more damage.
That's
as
the
well.
2v1. They got
Is there to
that.
clean that one up, and Ronin now completely in control. Cybercats eliminated. Their day is over, and Ronin will win that fight.
A tough day for the Cybercats. And they were down in 16th position, and they could drop even lower after this game. Now Alliance also taking a fight.
More fighting than I
It
thought was
looks
going to
like
occur.
maybe could be a tough one because
Alliance is just watching this.
Could be the option to retreat away from this one. If
You know, the teammate just was caught out.
Be the call that's made. Run, get a little bit of a respawn situation here going on.
Yeah, interesting. Effect seemed a little bit split from the rest of Alliance.
Yeah, I kind of want to know why he got so split there, to be
Exactly
honest.
how that happened, but got caught out a little bit there.
Because his teammates were literally just
Alliance will be
watching.
able to reset. They should be able to reset pretty
He must have been
comfortably.
caught out pretty
They don't have
bad.
the banner at the moment, just looking at where they can get to Climatizer and craft if they need to. But with the zone closing in, it is going to be a very, very slow rotate for them to have to make. So Alliance is going to have to pick the pieces, put themselves back together before they think about even getting near this zone.
It's crazy that Sparrow's like one of the most mobile characters in this lobby.
And that's good
because
news
nobody
for
else
the likes
has
of Go
movement.
Next, who, of course, are
per
watching
se.
on. They're in first place in the overalls at the moment, but if Alliance do just drop down the leaderboards a little bit here, don't get as much points, then Go Next can still be going into their next match day with a real opportunity of holding on to that first position when they equal the games played.
Did he hit that?
Alliance will go into Climatizer as you
This is the
mentioned.
last game, guys. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. You know, be sure to subscribe. We'll do more of this. I really want your feedback. This was done because you guys highly requested it. I'm curious if it'll catch on with everyone else. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Oh my god.
Walk through the ring of fire to get into a position to hold here. King's going to jump up after, and Kaiser's going to catch that. Excuse me, but his teammate's gone down now. And this fight has turned on its head a little bit. Pressure has to hit.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Opportunity. He misses the shot though, and King will find two. Remix Power's now left on his own.
Yeah, this is all falling apart for Citadel. Is it? It's a 1v2, I think.
It is.
Remix might have to take this fight. I don't know if you're going to have time to run away here because it's aggression on the flip side.
That's not bad.
Oh, it makes it a 1v1.
Nope.
I was going to say, one thing you can't do
That's
is go in
unfortunate.
on your own and give it
That's unfortunate.
your opposition the chance to clutch, but so Killer Whales get away with that one a little bit. They will be able to reset here in Citadel Gaming. They comes to an
I mean,
end
you're
as well,
almost
and
planning a rotation between two rings and saying, we're after this, we're going to move to another spot. Having a game plan is like, if this doesn't go well, then we're going to fall back this way.
Slim chance of trying to take this.
It's like always
entire
having your
series,
escape
but
plan
remember,
and push
FaZe Clan are
forward.
Still in first, and FaZe Clan have been slowly but surely working their way towards zone. They find themselves in
That's where
fragment at the
communication
moment,
really
not quite
succeeds.
towards
If you're solo
Monument,
queuing, I mean, that's hard. You're
but
not going to be able to
certainly
do
in a
that.
position where they can close
You
in
can
and
kind of
maybe
come up with
bully
your
some
own plan,
teams
but
out
it's not
to
like
that
anybody's
spot.
going to
So
really
Alliance
follow,
still
you
on the
know?
north, a survey camp,
Oh.
and you can see FaZe holding out Ronin at the moment on that south.
It's going to pull. It's going to be a monument ending for sure.
Full will be the team they're going to have to try and take down if they want to.
I mean, the PK is literally one of the strongest guns in the game, and I don't really know how you nerf it. Shotguns are always hard to balance. It's either going to be the worst gun or the best gun.
Monument is completely encircled by where this zone is going. I wonder if it's going to pull up just to the north of where Empire Gaming are. Sometimes playing that ramp outside can be a really good spot in the end game. Not so much of a building.
Everyone just is going to have a building, and this is going to end up into a big
Coverage
cluster.
with everybody else stacked up inside of it.
It's pretty much anybody's game in the center
But it is a
until we
position
start seeing where the
to play
zone starts to move.
Ronin taking some damage. Nate trying to escape.
Ooh.
MG Clutch though. He's got a Peacekeeper. Zane's only got the R9.
Zane needs help, does get help as well. And FaZe doing well with a bait and switch at the moment.
Ooh, wow.
Very tricky to try and deal with, but Snetic has fallen. Is going to be a response from Nags though. I think this is a 2v2.
2v2 for now. He's going to try and stick this res. Doesn't have the support perk though, so he's going to have to...
No, he's got the support perk.
Here, Snetic.
He just said he doesn't have the support perk, but Watson, when they res, that is the support perk. Whenever she does the shock. Right? Like, she didn't res the normal way, she shocked her hands.
Yeah, it really does open things up if FaZe were to fall. Snetic, though, just about escapes. And if you want anyone to get away, the Crypto can sometimes be that perfect player because maybe you
we all
can
make
grab
mistakes
those banners via the drone. You can see the shot speed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get a chance to watch ALGS that often. It's very refreshing to watch again.
But now I think another team arriving might just give him a passage to escape, and FaZe live on for now.
Ronnie were eliminated in that scuffle, by the way, by FUL, so that'll be the end of their day as well.
Ooh, good block on the door.
Kuro does a good job just to claim that door.
Yeah, that was a really smart play on the Banks part.
The train station's very, very busy at the moment. And Moisten's gonna have to hit some big shots here.
There's a lot of fighting going on, but it's like everyone's just kind of losing somebody and then hunkering down.
Checking every angle, checking every nook and cranny to see if anyone was hiding, but they can't quite find them. And that zone will now close anyone who was outside of it just into the likes of Fragment and Monument. But FaZe still alive. Snetic has been able to escape, but are you able to get the banners? Are you able to get back up to a full 3?
There's a crafter on that southern side.
That's what I mean. It's not impossible for FaZe, but it's certainly not going to be easy. You can see he is making his way there.
Monument.
SPS will be the team that's closest.
I'm going to guess it's going to pull right here.
To give you an
I've seen it end there.
Numbers, FaZe are currently
I don't think it'll pull here. I don't think it'll pull here. It's a maybe if. I think it's going to pull out in the open right here. I've seen that stupid ending before where it pulls up there. We'll see if it does it. That would be my call. I'd be like, bro, it's going to pull out in the open. We may have a building now, but it's 100% pull out in the stupid open the field there. Excuse me.
It'd be really interesting to see where this actually ends up going.
It probably in the field, man. It's a horrible ending. I've seen it happen.
Alliance are one of them being forced to fight at the moment. FX has taken damage, output some damage as he always does as well. But
oh, he's 1 HP. Dude, that sucks.
And that will be the end of Alliance's day as well. And we are losing our teams that are at the top of the leaderboards, and with FaZe still alive, it might just be a case of surviving is enough.
Yeah, just try and get.
Will being on this side is not a bad thing, because then they just got to move up to the road.
And that could just be enough.
Clear out their north.
If we still see these top teams dropping, Alliance going, City
Roadhouse is a really solid position right now.
The top 5 though, the likes of Killer Whales, UAIM, 07, who are chasing very important points for their overalls.
Is he gonna go for the res? That's crazy. He's got banners.
And your nifty little drone. You can head down and maybe get a res here.
Dude, I think he's gonna get it off. Like, wait till the last minute.
In that building. I wonder if Senetic's just gonna wait.
Yeah.
To hit this respawn until teams are forced to move. He's gonna be safe.
That's crazy. He's in still too. You can wait a little bit.
So Senetic trying to weigh up his options in this situation. A couple of knocks coming in the feed in the meantime from nades. Not gonna be able to be converted upon.
What he could do
he needs to do in this situation
is, if he's got his ult, did he have his ult? Hit the res, hit the ult, and then the team just flies over to the right, because this team is not going to get pushed.
Keeps him invisible, keeps him unknown, and keeps them with their chances of getting an extra placement point up into the top 15, which is going to be the first priority here. And
that team might lead the building too.
Where that zone's going to be, and the zone is just going to be.
He's got his ult, right?
Transition to the western side of Monument.
Why can't I tell?
Southwest side to be particular, where UAIM and Take Flight currently reside.
I see an enemy over there.
And the real question is, can we see?
Even if he does the ult, it might be possible that he baits the other team to push too. If he throws it down.
07, we mentioned how if the zone pulled towards the north.
I kind of want to go back to the feed over there and see what they do. Oh, dude, that was so much damage. Oh, 1v1.
It's all up to Naski though. So 1v1 here.
Oh, bro, he left. Just res.
Has his shields
res. Oh, he doesn't have the res perk. Bro, what you doing? Not running res perk on Watson as support? That's crazy.
offense is going down on either side at the moment. Try and control the space. Legion Gaming will be eliminated.
It's like Jen is great, but like
there is a team on
moments like this.
Coming in. The question is, will Endorse look to collapse?
Onyx under fire at the moment. Remember, they're in third place right now.
Oh, it is pulling like outside the building. It's gonna pull on the open area over there.
But it looks like they might be looking at what happens elsewhere to see if they can.
Can we? I want to go back and see. Can we see what's gonna happen in the other that res?
Squeaks through the gap, and just about Onyx live to fight another day right now.
Oh, the res is going off. There it is. Okay, nice. Somebody's got the thing over here.
QL eliminated too. FaZe have respawned. In the bottom right hand side of your screen, you can see that FaZe are back into this game. They waited for SPS to have to engage somewhere, and with SPS taking a loss as well, the walk-in for FaZe becomes a little bit more comfortable. Onyx still alive though.
Onyx still alive.
Just enough. I appreciate you, dude.
Being Empire Gaming to FaZe Clan's chances.
They actually held onto the ult here. They could blow. Oh, okay, they're done. I didn't have to say anything. I was like, they're gonna blow down this building.
Get a couple of kills on the board.
I don't think they push this. I think they just work their way in, find space, try to go to the left side. The left side is their play. If they can kill the team on this side of the map when it pulls over there, that's a great play right there. They got to do that. There is a team over here, I think, right here. But if they can get them out, that's some great positioning. Oh, that's not good. They're getting pushed instead. Not over yet. Not over yet. Not over yet. Nice, nice, nice. Let him go for the armor swap. Okay, there's multiple teams here. There's a rat over there too. They can hold. They can hold. It's not looking good though. They got a lot of people looking at them. They need somebody to get rid of that rat.
If they want to have a chance at getting to
That's a ballsy push forward, I'm gonna be honest.
This might give them that perfect chance now to try and push themselves into set top 3 in these series.
He's gone.
FaZe are bouncing back and forth, but it is going to
I think they could have stayed. Oh, good damage though. They were getting peppered, to be fair.
The chance. FaZe gone. And Empire Gaming also with an opportunity. Still in this lobby, 53 points on the board, but with FaZe gone, there's enough points for them to gather here to take first away. Yeah, they are 12 points shy of FaZe Clan. This is
that was a good smoke. Clear that out.
Especially if they can win this fight.
They got that.
They're going to take in the Gibby bubble.
They have that.
Oh, it's almost perfect.
It didn't pull out in the open. Part of it is in the building. Part of it's in the open. It actually didn't pull up there. It pulled. That's a weird spot. I guess I've seen that zone. It's been a hot minute though.
Get into it because the building takes up so much coverage of this zone, and sadly they are not within said buildings. They're going to have to go around. They need to just get back up to a full set of health and move together here, which is exactly what they're doing. They're going to be slightly held out by UAIM. And they have been
take bottom
spotted,
floor.
It looks like now they've been able to find a safe place and have found themselves within zone.
They're chilling.
They're eliminated as well, so that's them gone. So all eyes on Empire essentially to see if they can take away first place. Endorso having to res here. We'll be able to get one player up. Phoenix still on his knees. They're going to try and get him back up as well.
Oh, Empire's about to get run up on.
Zipline Mafia. Try and move to a more central position, but look at the fortress that Empire Gaming have built. Castle wall.
I don't know if this will pull inside.
And now 8 points away from FaZe. They can get into the top 3 with some kills.
Well, that's
they can
it.
Be so close to taking this entire series. But remember, Killer Whales still alive. If they can get kill
Pretty sure this is going to FaZe Clan here.
The top 3 here and also compete for that top 2 position. Maybe just a little bit too far away from first right now. But
maybe not this game, but I mean overall points. I'm pretty sure.
After a few games, now suddenly find themselves in the top 5 and a chance to compete for top 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Main Street. Well, once they show the map, I'm with you on that. I don't think it can pull there. Well, yeah, outside the building, it's gonna like this area over here.
Zipline Mafia though. A little bit of a peek, a little bit of a prod, trying to fence them into this building. Ivan with a really good swing, with really good damage and a fantastic knock for this situation.
Rolled the dice with some P2020 shots and they connected. They get the knock, but they don't commit to that fight.
Ooh, good damage. That great damage. Don't overpeak. Dude, he's going for it. He don't care. Respect, respect. He went for it, bro. He could have got knocked, but he committed. Respect. He said, I got momentum, screw it. I think once the damage was done, I would have personally waited and had my teammates swing it, but he got it. Clutched it. Respect.
4 squads remain. Killer Whales still in this. looking to put themselves into a great position in the final standings as well. But Empire Gaming, like you say, 3 points away from stealing.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Empire's looking really hot.
Day 7 away from FaZe Clan.
Oh, this team is huddled up in the corner.
KP might be in front of them here, Dan.
Yeah, again, those P2020s
Might be able to pull out Sheila. Sheila. Yeah, oh.
does go down. Oh, but the
Ooh, another counter.
Maybe just holds them back here. I don't know if they want to push through this, but they commit. Gotta be careful.
Stinger.
Trying to keep the pressure
Good
on.
damage.
Now the noise has been made. Life was more fantastic.
Ooh, drone takes out a lot of that stuff. They need more walls down. That's a big nade. That's a big nade.
Empire Game is still healthy.
Yeah, I'm surprised that nade didn't do more. Good block. Ooh, good cleanup.
There's one of those points. Take flight. I've been eliminated. Top 3 now.
This might be Empire. If the other two, they're focused on each other, that's one down.
They might be able to seal this with a win if they can get back.
They gotta get the reset though. Oh, they're getting swung. They're getting swung, bro. That's crazy. That's over. Second place. That's crazy. UAM just waited. Respect. Empire was really in it though. I guarantee they probably came up with more points. They were fighting a lot.
They will win the series. And you gotta say, they deserved it, Dan. That final game performance was absolutely astronomical.
I mean, the win.
Does that push them to first? Let's see.
In match 6 to push themselves into first.
If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. This is fun. This is nice. Nice change of pace.
That one out after the incredible start
yeah, it's fun
on E District. But again, that's how quickly things can change in the LGS with just a couple of good games, especially when you're playing that well. Rain Day, Empire Gaming just sweep it away from FaZe Clan. They pull the rug right from underneath them, and those points could be vital for their chances of trying to get towards Sapporo.
Well, it's like they always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Empire Gaming find the perfect answer to a bit of a slower start into what will now be their first match day win, I believe, here in the ALGS. An incredible
just want to see the final standings and we'll head out.
Them towards the back half of this on World's Edge, and you could tell why these teams, when we got into it and said most of the teams here prioritize World's Edge in terms of their draft picks, this is the reason why. The entire series was won based on performances from here. And while I am remiss to
Urban,
say
I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. It was good vibes. It's fun watching ALGS together.
They'll be expecting a win. They'll hope for a win next time around. It has to be Empire Gaming and their ability to come forward at the moment when they needed it most to grab these points. And when it comes to championships,
I just want to see the final score.
This is the type of team that needs the championship points. This is not a given for them. They need the regional final wins. They potentially need the LCQ. So getting it into a place where they are safer or at least close to avoiding some of those things, that is a massive deal, Mark, if they're really able to pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned at the top of the show, every
yeah,
point,
of course, no worries, man.
Placement.
Thank you guys for being here. It's fun.
Sapporo, and that's, I think,
we hadn't done like a ALGS watch party in a while. It's been a hot minute.
Getting to champs is going to be that answer. If it's
not, I know you guys probably want to see NA. I'll do a poll,
and we are seeing it now in EMEA.
I'll ask for probably two polls. One, if we should do this again, and then two, if what region we should cover.
Everyone else is picking. It's been a fascinating week. I've got to say, yesterday EMEA looked a bit shaky, but today I was really impressed with what we saw.
Yeah, there was a lot of good plays today.
Talk about, Visate, Liffin, Arctic, who formerly FaZe Clan, formerly EXO, and now finding his way here is a bunch of, this is that shuffling of the pack that we've talked about. Finding a home maybe at the right time, representing an org that's been in Apex for a while too, and allowing us to kind of see the different iterations
I'll make
of
it
the
work.
squad from different regions as well.
Yeah, I know. Like, where's this? Come on, guys. Where's the scores?
So
give us the scores, man.
Empire Gaming. I know we got some standings, probably in terms of overall standings to take a look at in a moment. But Dan, just taking back at 6, it did seem like FaZe Clan's day, but how can we not just put it all on Empire with the performance that they've had towards the back 2?
Yeah, Empire really came back with that.
In the last 2 matches, I think that they can be very proud of themselves, because especially when you're under that kind of pressure, you know that FaZe Clan have that kind of lead on you. But as soon as they saw FaZe Clan eliminated in that kill feed, they probably thought, we have a real chance here, especially with how they were playing. They were playing very successfully together, pushing the right things in the right areas, and
maybe
very
math isn't their
successful
strong
flanks
suit.
that
Still
were going down
calculating.
as well.
Sure.
It didn't seem like they were too panicked, and just hitting shots, which we always say sometimes it matters. Just getting those that gun ability out and showing what you're made of, especially in a meta like this where the PK hits so hard. It can be a scenario where you can really find yourself in a good spot just by hitting.
I'm not sure. I just want to see the scores, man.
While we wait to confirm the overall standings, let's take a look at the series overall here.
They're still calculating it? Dude, they've been a lot. Okay.
An incredible run. Match 6. It left
The music.
UAM at the top. That's a great win for them morale-wise, but sometimes those final wins, the match is already decided, so it doesn't keep that energy the way you might have hoped for. A team like Empire Gaming getting to second, that's where it felt like they climbed the mountain and they stuck their flag out on top. That is what they wanted, and notably Killer Whales too.
Wow, look at that.
They've got to be the other.
All right, Empire made a massive comeback, man. Holy.
Such a great turnaround on World's Edge.
That is not what I would have expected for today.
Took them from 5 points to 36 points, and now adding 14 onto that.
Yeah, I was rooting for Alliance. They started off strong.
That, Mark, I know you were watching.
Just some of those rotations and pushes were just hard for them. That's crazy.
Maybe haven't put it together enough consistently throughout.
Interesting bans, interesting games today.
To be a team that is reckoned with.
All right, everybody.
I think they've got some work to do on E-District.
Just want to say thank you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the final standings. Congrats to Empire. Nice. Getting first for the day. I'll see you guys all real soon. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, everybody. Bye, 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 bye.